Hello and welcome to Trucking Answers. We are here today. It says starting, so I guess I'm starting. What's going on, everybody? It's 1 p.m. on Monday. Trucking Answers is live every week, Monday at this time. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's going to be another exciting show. Mike Walls is here first, of course, today, and I always like to recognize that. So we are going to get through it today. We got a lot to talk about, a lot in the news. What's going on with everybody today? Man, scrolling back quick here. Wow, Bill, thanks for coming in today. You took the day off nice, and I appreciate you saying that about me here. Trucker Hershey is nice here. 69 hours, that's pretty good. Using all your hours up. I love it, right? So let's go on down the list here. Trucker Hershey is here. I say King Bob, thanks for coming in today. We've spoken. I hope that you're doing good over there. And let us know how that goes. You know, that's really something that they would do that for everybody. Very nice of them to upgrade you. I love that. Right. So here we go down the list as I go here. People are coming in. Andrew J., thank you for being here. Kroger, boy, good luck. You'll probably be here on the next show. Well, by the way, we will be here live next Monday as well, Memorial Day. Big Memorial Day show, so be sure to come on out live every Monday. You're getting 700 training, 15 to 2,000. Look, I've had England trainers write to me with $2,300 checks, which is really something. Will Hazard, thanks for being here today. Thomas, what's going on? Mad Maldy, hello, thanks for coming in. Jack Daniels, nice name. I wonder what they think about that. Hello, what's happening? Fatty 2x4, I love it, right? What's going on out there today? Let's see. Kim, thanks for coming in here. You're peering good news. Yeah, I hope that there's some good news. Big, huge Mike, what's happening today? Good to see you. Stan Dodge from La Crosse, Wisconsin. Boy, but it's freezing cold. It's only 52 here today. Marty, what's happening? Hello there. Donald, hello. Thank you for being here today. It's South Dakota. At least it's not raining here. We had huge storms yesterday. True trucking. Nice. I love it. What's going on? You called your boss's boss, got to rent a car and a loaner truck. You're actually going to pick up your truck from the shop finally. You still don't have that truck back? Oh, my gosh. That's incredible. I broke down Friday night for those of you that follow my Instagram story. So they loaned me a truck by picking it up and towing a truck to me from somewhere else. So that was pretty good of them. I got paid for all that time. Light Bright. Hey, what's happening? Bless everybody here today. Thank you for saying that. Watching from Oklahoma, Jesse, as soon as you can get loaded. Hopefully that is not too long, right? Billy T from Wyoming. Hey, Todd, what's going at the Effingham Petrol, one of my favorite truck stops everywhere. Can you get a subscriber here? No, you can't. Go get your own subscriber. No sub for sub program. We don't program in on that kind of thing. I can start now. I'm working on it. Good morning. Chrome, what's happening, Jose? Yikes. Eddie, give us answers. I will. If you have any questions, I hope to have an answer. Edwin, it's hot in Laredo. Bring some of that up here. It's freezing up here today. I can't believe I'm going to have to wear a jacket to work today. Randall, thank you for being here. Trucker Dave, hey, what's going on? Good morning from Dallas, Jose, at sunny and 75 and at home today. Love it. Calix Logistics is company of the year, or are they the crap company? All right, why are they the crap company, though? Let's see what the story is. Jay from Menominee, love it. Eddie, what's happening? Sean, hey, good morning, good afternoon. It depends where you are. Alex, the OTR driver. John Stewart is with Landstar, like it. Not seeing those posts, Trucker Hershey. They're coming, right? John is with Land. Hello, could somebody explain mandatory per diem? Yeah, companies are allowed to make you take per diem. So if you're a company driver, they can make you take it. They can say our pay is, say, 50 cents and 20 cents of it's per diem, and that's how we pay you. So they're allowed to mandatorily give you per diem. They are allowed to do it. Where are these tornadoes expected, Stan? We don't want any of that, right? Why are the rates so cheap? I don't know. I get paid the same every week. I mean, seriously, so I don't do much with owner-operators. I did write this down, ironically. Rates this week, funny, I wrote that down. Van, $1.81. Reefer, $2.19. Flat, $2.33. That's the last week's average rate. I thought I would write that down. So that's the average rate by freight waves. So interesting. Is that good or not? I'm not sure. Amarillo, nice over there, I guess. Cash is King Trucking. It's good to see you. Haven't been on YouTube for a while. You're watching from Louisville. It's sunny and 3 deliveries. That's a surprise. You have multiple stops on your trailer. What a surprise that is. Because of you, nobody else gets any stops. You do all the multiple stop loads. Andrew, it's hot in Houston. Can't wait to get back to Wisconsin. Okay, Cash is King. Here's a good question. Reefer 219 is the average. Are you doing better or worse than that on this load? That's interesting. Felipe, what's happening? Alex, did I hear about the Hampton Road tunnel accident? No, I did not. Not authorized. Crete driver. What do you think about that? Red Wine, stuck in Indy for the day because CSR didn't set up a delivery appointment. Are they paying you for the day? Is this a good time to be an owner-operator? I don't know. I've never been one, and I'm just not a fan of it. There are people that do great at it, so, maybe. But I'm probably the wrong person to ask that. King Bob is going to meet your first student. Congratulations. Can you believe it? To go from that to being a trainer? Good. Going to talk about the DOT Blitz. June 4th to 6th will be road check. I was going to do more of that next week, but absolutely. June 4th to 6th is the road check this year. Company who closed and left all the drivers. Standard is the crap company of the year. They're not doing great, right? Hey, how about this I-70 driver post bond? He posted his $400,000 bond, which Steel Horse sent to me. I appreciate that. Hope to see you on here today. Posted a $400,000 bond. That's cash or surety. So he posted 40 to a bail bondsman or 400 to the state. Love it. He's out on bond. Out on bond. Allman has 9 months experience. Can I recommend a good company? Almost every company will take you with 9 months experience. I mean, what about ShipX? Will they take it under a year? Maybe. I call them up. And GP Transco, are they a year or two? I think everybody's closing in on a year. But look, call them and, some of them work with that if you have an excellent record, really. Ron says coming June 4th. Yeah, road check will be here on June 4th. Stephen, there's a Missouri bad storm. Well, it is dark out today, and the cat's all freaked out about it, so we'll see. Eden, Mark from OTS Express, how often do I check my email? I check it every weekday, certainly. So if you haven't sent anything, I haven't gotten anything yet. So picking up a Columbus, Ohio, going to Flower Mound and Laredo. 2 stops. Cash's King Trucking's going to get mad at you for doing more than 1 stop. Ron, you do a great company. Yeah, what is it? Bad accident in Henry County in Georgia, 4 killed. That isn't any good, right? ShipX is 18 months. Oh, all right, so I'm way off on that. Decker Truck Lanes, Pilot Flying J is giving away mid-trip inspections. Yeah, thanks for that. That is true, right? The Pilot Flying J, you can go get an inspection at no charge. So that's recommended before you go through the road check. Of course, your truck should be up to snuff, but it's not a bad idea. And for company drivers to go get a free inspection, hey, that's well worth it. Well worth it, especially since it doesn't cost anything. All companies should probably recommend their drivers to do that, really. Do I wear an electric ankle bracelet to keep track of him? No, he's not braceleted, but there's usually, they took his passport, I'm sure, and there's usually some kind of limit. Don't leave the country or something like that. So there'll be a limit set on him, but no, I don't think he's ankle braceleted because he hasn't really been charged with, he's been charged, but he hasn't been convicted of a crime. So I don't know. It didn't say anything like that. So no. Check out Prime. Yeah, they're doing better than they used to, right? Where did he get the bond? Well, there was a Facebook page set up to collect money. There was a GoFundMe, but it got taken down. There was also a Facebook page set up to get him money. So $40,000 gets you out with the bail bondsman, with James Bond bail bondsman. So I don't know how you got $40,000 together being in the country 2 years, but he did and was let out Saturday night. You can't make money as a fleece operator. No, leasing a truck is like the worst thing to do. Buying your own truck and keeping it yourself, that's one thing. Edwin, owner-operator leased a Second Chance, a family-first company out of Laredo. Yeah, do they pay anything? That's the thing. J-Man, you finally made it. Good. It's good to see you here. Thanks for being in. An Old Dominion driver asked if you heard anything about another company buying Old Dominion. I haven't heard anything about that. That would take a pretty big company. They're pretty big. They're a pretty big place to have that happen. Where another company could buy Old Dominion. That would really be something. I would be surprised if another company could buy Old Dominion, although I'm sure it probably could happen. Calex makes students sign a 1-year contract. That is not unusual for companies to have you sign, up to a year, 9 months to a year. That's certainly nothing that's unusual. It's not, look, that's not a terrible thing. I don't like it 100%, but they are giving you training and to stay there to get their money back. They're investing in you, so you can invest in them. Mike, I don't know about that, right? They set up a Facebook page for everybody. Look at Sweet Express. I never heard of that place. Where are they out of? A group of people started a donation to get him out. Yeah, he had a Facebook page set up. That's what they said. You heard Swift is buying Old Dominion? No way. Really? No way. Holy mackerel. You'd never drive for a company with a sleeper for less than $200,000 a year. Well, you're not going to be a company driver anywhere. I don't know of any company drivers really making $200,000 a year. Even teams, they're not really making $4,000 a person. Chrome Daddy, pumping off a load of nitrogen, very boring. So happy to see the notification. Oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, you don't have to do a lot of work on that, right? You just kind of sit there. Yeah, Cassius King says the TA Petro's doing the free mid-trip inspection. So basically everybody that's got a shop almost is doing these free mid-trip inspections. Not a bad idea, right? You would recommend that, Cassius King, certainly because there's no cost to you other than a little bit of time. Was it a truck malfunction? We don't know. And even though his lawyer's like, oh, we'll be able to find out from the wreckage. I don't think that's going to happen because the wreckage, there's nothing left but the frame of the truck. It all burnt to the ground. Luke, been on the dock in Hazleton for 2 hours. $21.14 an hour detention. So at least you're being paid. That's not bad. So you don't mind sitting there. People wouldn't mind sitting there if you got paid, right? People should stop taking what people give you and know your worth and only accept that. Once you accept your worth and value in the marketplace, you'll get paid your value because that's all you will accept. They're investigating, yes, but they're not going to find anything from just a frame. I mean, everything is burnt up. There's nothing left of that truck. That's the problem. Sweet Express is a great company. Why are they good? What are we talking about, right? Good way to drum up business. Look, it's not a bad idea. You give a free thing away. Drivers are there. Takes a little time to do it. You say, hey, stop by the store, go get a wiener, whatever you need to do while you're here, and they get a little business. Absolutely, right? Sure. Look, they're not doing it just because, oh, we should do this for free. Let's be honest. It's a business, but they're there to make money. There's nothing wrong with that, right? They need to have money to run their business, so I'm all for it. And you get a benefit. You get a wiener. Everybody's happy. Leaving in a bit to go on a tour of Budweiser. That's pretty cool. Schuster starts at 45 to 48 cents. Depending on much experience, that might not be too bad. They keep you rolling and have good equipment. All right, that's good. Grand Rapids, Michigan. Oh, really? I never heard of them up there. Why do tankers need to go over the road? Because stuff in a tanker needs to go all over the place still. Have I seen a tractor that has dust covers on the drums over the top of the shoes, brake pads? I don't know. I mean, our trailers, a lot of them have covers over the rims. They cover the entire wheel up. So I don't know exactly what we're saying. Fair, honest, and pay us on the spot. That's a good thing. I mean, holy mackerel. I was off a couple of weeks ago by like $12. What the heck? I saw a truck on the highway blowing black smoke out the stacks. Oh, Peterbilt 379 would love that. Like an old steam locomotive, the engine blew. Maybe could have blown a turbo, although I don't think that comes out black. You're just rolling too much fuel through that. That's just money out of your stacks. Remember that. That's just money out of there. I want to say this again, too. James Faust is usually on the channel. He's a friend of the show. He's doing a PET scan today for cancer, so let's all think about him and hope that all comes out good today. He has some problems, so I just want to put that out there. I was thank people for being here. And that means a lot to me. So I hope that he does great on that. I hope to hear from him later about it. I hear Amazon is letting companies put their freight on Amazon trailers and shipping for no profit. So I've heard, right. Claiming they can cut shipping costs. Yeah, right. They're going to ship it out basically at cost, no profit. And then that'll just ruin the market. That's exactly correct. Corey, what's going on? Doing great here today. I will check out Sweet Express now that people are saying it's okay, right? You're paid $600 for 4 days breakdown. That's pretty good. $150 a day. At some places they would give you, it's $50 after 2 days, $50 a day. You'd only got a couple $100. So that's not terrible for not working. If I'm going to be in Williamsport this afternoon, there are going to be massive slowdowns and delays due to President Trump. Oh, yeah, whenever he shows up, you got to go the other way. And that's not just him, of course. That's any president. They block everything up. It's a total disaster. I totally agree. Go the other way. TA Petra just messed up your truck after getting an oil change. That's not great. You have to go to the J to get your free inspection. You only run Texas and home every weekend. All expenses average $1.60 to $1.80 for 2,600 miles a week, depending on your hustle. You got to have the hustle to make the bustle, whatever the heck that means. So that's a little less than FreightWaves is saying the average pay is. Even van $1.81. That's what they're saying. So, James Faust. Oh, there you are. That's ironic. I was just talking about you. How did everything go? Hopefully good today. I'm a little behind in the comments. That's why I'm a little on that. Stop selling the company. Yeah. I'll take a free midterm inspection. Never hurts to have a second eyes. Look. Before, not today, I guess, but right before that, I mean, that is a great idea, certainly. Looks like I'm picking up a student in Dallas. You're in Laredo night now, waiting for a load. Well, let us know how it goes. I talked to you about it. I'd probably do the same thing in your situation because of your situation. It's sad, really, the thing is about that. It's sad that the companies make you do that. They basically starve you into being a trainer, and that's not a good way to make a trainer, and it's not a good way to have somebody train. You want somebody that wants to do it, not somebody that is forced to it, is starved into it. I mean, none of that is great. It's just a bad policy, really. Paid or not, you hate shippers and receivers that take your time. I agree with that. It's certainly, but paid is better than unpaid. And if you start getting paid enough, your company eventually, I think, will get you out of there, unless they don't care. Maybe they get $100 an hour. I've seen that, right? $200,000 a year, that's what I'm saying. If there's some company driver out there making $4,000 a week, I'd love to know about it. I'll feature the company on here 100%, no problem, right? I'd love to hear it. It's just I haven't seen it, and I don't think it's possible, not yet, as a company driver making $4,000 a week. I'll even take it as gross, but you got to send me 4 checks in a row. I won't post them, but I want 4 checks in a row so we know people aren't holding paperwork to show $4,000 a week. I mean, who wouldn't love that, right? Come on. 260 trucks, so that's pretty good. Heading to Allentown, Pennsylvania. Hope you don't get stuck by the president. You're a patient. I'm on a 10-hour sleeper right now. Wow, Bill, who do I drive for? Oh, that's an interesting question. I don't ever get that question. So I'm glad that you asked it this week. I don't say who I drive for. It turns out people don't know that because it never gets asked. But I don't ever say who I drive for because, that keeps them out of my videos. And I don't recruit for them either. There's so many people recruiting for their company. Heck, they're doing it right here. But I don't recruit for anybody. They got people that do that. Keeps them out of my videos. I get to say what I want. What I want. So we just keep them off to the sidelines. You actually, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm so far behind. I actually are like Schuster as a company. Didn't want to stay long. Or are you unrefrigerated? I was like refrigerated the most on the road, right? Ford's getting rid of 7,000 employees. Really? Where? They just changed the Taurus plant up there to make Explorers. They can't keep their cars in stock. You have full covers on your brakes and the inside to keep the ice and snow out. Really? Oh, that's a good idea. What do I think about Al in trucking? No way. AI. Oh, okay, so we're on that. Starsky Robotics truck. Who saw that last week in Florida? When they're self-driving truck, they test them in Florida on the reversible lanes. They close them down both ways, let the truck go down the lanes. This is policy there. Who saw that? Anybody? What a disaster. That truck didn't go anywhere. It took an hour for them to figure out how to get it going. It had some kind of computer problem. And then what happened? It went a little bit and stopped, started and stopped, and they finally abandoned the test. Don't worry, folks. This is not coming anytime soon to a truck near you. Wow, exactly. Don't Come to England was down for 9 days and they give you 300. See, that's the problem with these companies. You ought to get a day's pay, really, but certainly something considerable for being down. It doesn't make any difference. If it's their problem, that's their problem. GM is shutting down in Michigan. They got the Volt plant up there that they were changing around, right? Because they're going to stop making them. Because it turns out nobody cares about the Volt. Trucks will automatically apply brakes. If you don't, I don't like that. My truck has that feature. I hate it. Not this loaner truck, but the truck I drive does have it. Amazon took in billions of losses to establish market control. That's correct. That's how they do it, and that's how they'll ruin. I don't know ruin, but that's how they'll change trucking. There's a little hidden cost, but not like the big companies. Exactly. See, that's the thing about a salary that I try to get people into. A salary, you don't have to worry that if the rate goes down, you don't make any money. I get a salary. I'll get the same pay this week as I did 3 weeks ago. It doesn't make any difference to me personally what the rate is, so they can do all they want with the rates. I still get the same pay. Companies that haul automotive are struggling. Yeah, like Falcon, right? Everybody got Falcon right out of that. Of course, most of their business was the Lordstown plant. Brilliant. Have I seen any companies using W990? Yeah, Central Oregon Truck is using them. How about that? They're over the road. So you want to get in, and that's a great place. So W990 Central Oregon Truck. Just got denied at Amazon because they don't accept inbound on Sunday and Monday. Oh my gosh, really? Was a mile-long load, made $50. Well, that's not bad for 1 mile. Ron trained for 5 years. Back in Phoenix, oh my gosh, I can't believe where I am here. See you this weekend. All right, yeah, it's nice and warm there, right? Roger Penske at least. You won't do it again? Look, it's not for everybody, right? Trying to get drivers that are under 21. Yeah, I think that's going to pass. Eagle Trans, yeah, well, hauling the mail is not all it's cracked up to be, really. JB Hunt, I get a lot of complaints about them. Oh, wow, Bill, I appreciate that. Your current is $3.72 a mile. That's not possible because we're showing reefer at $2.19 a mile right here. But $2.19 average for reefer seems right. You had a reefer offer you 83 cents a mile last week. Oh, how did that conversation go? Pretty good? Do they expect anybody to take that? I'm finding company jobs for teams in the 70s for a company driver. What owner-operator is going to take 83 cents a mile? Big Huge Mike, you saw that about that truck in Florida. Wasn't that crazy? That was a total disaster. They want trucks that can't drive themselves. This thing couldn't get down a road in the sun that was blocked off with no traffic. They couldn't even figure out how to get the truck going. It's a long time for that to happen. You want self-backing trailers? That's going to come. I think that spotters are going to be a good thing for these self-driving. So that will happen, spotting trucks, because it's always the same dock in the same place. Back in the 80s, Yellow Freight offered $110,000 for each to run teams. That's pretty good, especially way back then. Holy mackerel. Of course, it's still good now. So $2,000 a person. That's still half of what these people are saying, but I mean, that's amazing money. I wonder if there's anybody left there from then that was getting that money then, and they're probably not getting that money now. A company do I recommend for somebody to 5 years? Well, it depends where you want to go, where you live, what kind of road, where you want to run, what you want to do, how old you are. Can you pass a full physical? Can you pass a human capacities test as they talk about it? Do you need a sleep apnea test? Like I'm hearing about Schneider. What's up with them? Holy mackerel. Never will happen in our lifetime. Exactly. Decker, that's why you need professional drivers. Yes. Companies that think, it's expensive hiring, it's too expensive to hire professionals. We're going to hire students. If you think it's expensive to hire a professional to do anything, go hire an amateur to do it. Companies should want the best drivers, really, not just only students. I understand students have to start somewhere, but they should also want, experienced drivers, really. You think I drive for MFI? Oh, NFI. Oh, I've seen their ads. England Training Company thieves. A company shouldn't force you to train by basically starving you out of there. And you say, I'm going to quit. Oh, we'll make you a trainer. That's not a good way to make trainers. I don't think any decent company would think that's a great way to make a trainer. Sweet Express has got average equipment and pay. Well, their DOT snapshot. Everybody that's satisfactory gets a good DOT snapshot, Late to the party, thanks for being here. Black smoke is dirty injectors. Okay, white smoke's the bad turbo. Either way, right, we're not doing the truck any good. That shouldn't be coming out of there black. You want to become a hotshot truck and get your CDL. Can I take in a 3500 and do I need a CDL? Depends on the weight, right? I'm not a owner-operator or anything, but it's all a weight limit. So 26,000 pounds, and I don't think a 3500 can do that kind of weight. You can't gross 26,000 pounds on it legally, so I don't think so. Falcon, I did. I should get credit. Every time somebody tweets that hashtag, I ought to get 3 cents. You saw a Falcon truck at a Flying J in Birmingham? That's funny. Somebody wrote to me and said, hey, there's a Falcon truck sitting here. What's the story? I thought they would have picked them up by now. Somebody's going to strip these trucks for all their parts or whatever. Prime is 62, but they encourage you to go 57 miles an hour. Ron, yeah, exactly. Navajo needs to make, maybe they should. Trucking is not a job of the future. I think it is. And Swift Driving Force, I like that, right? I think there's still a job of the future. Now, maybe if you haven't been born yet, trucking is not going to be the job. We have decades and decades of trucks rolling down the highway here. No problem. They can't even get a truck to run in the sun for 5 minutes. So we got a long time before that happens. You saw a question here about 18-year-olds holding an interstate. That's exactly correct. How's that possible when states have a graduated license? No, for under 18, I think. 18-year-olds are going to be able to get a CDL maybe with the FMCSA. They'll change it. They probably will change it. So I see that happening. The question is, how many 18-year-olds want to drive a truck? Not that many, really. And I did a video about this. There is a questionnaire from the FMCSA. They want to hear from you. So go check that out in the description. You can click to straight to the FMCSA. Let your voice be heard with them. Swift is losing a lot of contract to JB Hunt because they're being outbid. Wow. How do you outbid them? Then they're down to this 83 cents a mile load here. Another great company is Carvana. I would never buy a car there, I'll tell you that. They'll never get me to buy a car. You can't test drive the cars. Fresh grapefruit while unloading right off of mom's tree. That's really good. Salary, exactly, Ron. Salary is, I think that's the way to go, especially if you have your money float on the rates. So if you got a salary, you don't have to worry about the rates, you know. Is reefer good in California? It should be, right? Should a new CDL drive team during training? I don't think two students should drive team together. Some companies force you to do that. Where two of you are linked together as a team. I don't agree with that. They want cameras on the drivers. How about some cameras on the trailers for the blind spots? I don't know why there's not one back there. You know, they're talking about it, have a screen in there. Why not? Maverick just offered 7 cents for over the road. Wow, not bad. They have autos and you hate automatics. Well, they're coming. You're going to get them anyway. And 57 cents over the road, not bad. Maverick also has a salary, not a salary, but right, a pay guarantee. So, you know, and I'm in for them. 5,500 ramp for Hotshot. That's more like it. The 3,500 is not going to tow 26,000 pounds. Trucks that are governed at 62 scare you when they're heavy. It's ridiculous. They're not saving any money because if it was really money savings, all these companies would do it. So they're the only ones really that do it. 65 for owners. That's what I understand there. Maverick has a good reputation. Exactly. Give them a call and just see what they have to say, what you've already done. At FedEx Custom Critical, you earned $125 an hour as a contractor. Not bad. You've seen Lake Crete, the master freight agreement, and the company makes all that money. I know. Companies, when they say, oh, we don't make any money, that's baloney. Companies charge for their time for their truck, okay, on their agreements. So when they say they can't pay you, it's ridiculous. Even if they only made $125 an hour after the second hour, they can give you $20 an hour starting right away and still make money. So for them to say that, it's just ridiculous. And look, drivers, like every employee, should get paid for all their time. I don't know what's so radical about that, why companies are all against it. Paying people for their time shouldn't be a weird, radical idea in the industry. You saw an ad for UPS Freight over-the-road team starting at 80 cents, home 5 days. Now, that's almost what they were offering you to own the truck. Is that crazy? They should do the speed limit. Look, Montana is raising their speed limit to 70 for trucks for day and night. Isn't that great? The governor signed the bill, although I don't know how you sign a bill and there's no date on it. That's what they said. There'll be no day-night shift in Montana, and the truck speed limit is going to 70 in Montana for trucks. Still be 80 for cars. So you saw a Falcon trailer being pulled. Why aren't these things back yet? You stole a Falcon truck. They'll probably never come and look for it. Trucking is here forever. We'll all be dead before there's no trucking. How are you going to get stuff around? Until there's some way to transport things like Star Trek, stuff still has to get moved around. All these, Roger Penske can't eat every grapefruit in America. No, you haven't heard much bad about Maverick. Exactly. Mostly automatics. Everybody's doing automatics. You're just going to have to, do one. You're going to love it. Amazon was going to create more driving jobs. I don't know about that. Maybe. There'll be a 19-year-old in the Indy 500. Oh, that's interesting. Can't drive a semi yet across the state line. In the Northeast, you saw Falcon trainers every day. Really? I think some of them are stolen. That's what happened at Arrow. I think some might be stolen. Of course, wouldn't you paint the name over? 26 years old, in good shape, but open anywhere. All right, Maverick has agility test. Yeah, I think they do, and so you have to be able to pass that too. From Texas, open anywhere. ShipX might hire you. Swift is that guy. Is that guy out of prison yet? Right. You got a call from JB Hunt. Nice. The other day they offered you. I got a call from PTL the other day. They offered you a $1,200 guarantee minimum weekly pay running everything east of Texas in a brand new truck with an inverter but no APU. Well, they let you idle the truck and $1,200 guarantee minimum, $60,000. That's not terrible. Okay. And then you don't have to worry that you sit and you're not going to make any money. You're going to get paid your money. That's why I like a salary. Really. Automatic trucks will never happen. They couldn't be operating in perfect conditions. I don't know. Oh, automated trucks. Yeah. I mean, they're testing this thing in Florida. It couldn't work. Let them test it in North Dakota in the wintertime. You got decades for this. Have I ever gone to a race in Indy? No, I never have. It was pouring all the way home yesterday, and you couldn't see the car right in front of you. I know. And some Hogan drivers in the left lane tailgating and blowing his horn. Nice. Should have. It's so-called professional. Yeah, that's crazy. Raise the interstate age to 30. Yikes. 30. There'd be nobody driving a truck. Did I see the footage of the trucker crash in Georgia? No. People are just telling me about it. I didn't hear anything about it. Team Penske's on the pole. Good. Congratulations, by the way, for a dude for getting that. Salary's okay, so you can still work the clock. Well, we don't want to look. That's the other side of it, and that's what companies say. Oh, we can't do that because drivers won't work. You can't do that. You got to do your job. So you get paid to do a job. You agree to the pay, and you have to do the job. Actually, no matter what the pay is, if you accept 20 cents a mile, you still have to do the best job, right? Come on, let's be honest about it. Don't hose the company. It isn't right for them to do to you, but if you accept the pay, you have to do your job. You're welcome to quit at any time. But if you accept a salary, do the job to the best of your ability. You know, don't slow, just like on hourly. That's why a lot of drivers are not paid hourly. Companies feel like drivers are going to go 45 miles an hour, which a lot of them would. We don't want to be hosed by them, and we can't hose the company. You have to do 100% an excellent job no matter what the pay is that you're accepting to take. You can quit, but if you accept the job and you accept the pay, you have to do the job. That's part of being a professional. I mean, really. Why are there actually have backup cameras if you're the Dollar General account for 90 days anyway? Then they take it. I don't know what you're saying. Why are there actually has backup cameras? Teams should be illegal except for training. I don't like teams. I don't think you get any sleep. Really. Mad Maldy, you can only do 65. Yeah, you can keep up with a prime owner operator. They don't, and they will continue to not have the daytime speed exactly. They're changing Montana. The governor signed, he said the trucks will be 70 and day and night also. Because now it's 55 at night. Not anymore, but there's no date set. I don't understand it. I trained at FFE. It's paying off a lease a lot faster. I know. But, you know, you're not paying off the lease. Somebody else is paying off your lease. Here's somebody else. I haven't found any solo lease drivers making more than company drivers. I can't find any of those. Trainers, right. You get somebody else to pay your truck off for you. I don't know about that. Should get your CDL in a manual if you can. If you can get it in a manual, yes. Otherwise, there's so many automatics now, I don't think it's as big a problem as it used to be. But get it in a manual if you can do it. Trucks need elite pass on all trucks. There's no speed limit, was just a small stretch and only lasted a year. Oh, yeah, that's been a while. Trucking companies should pay for showers. You should get a shower. You should get enough fuel to shower. They should pay parking if it's necessary. When's my birthday? Next month. I have an address for presents to be sent to me. If you want to go ahead and do that. And OSHA's a workplace temperature requirement. Yeah, well, your truck should have air. Blew a tire early and went and got it repaired to get off the shoulder. Going down the hill, there were 20 trucks passing me. It wouldn't let me over. Yeah, look, people are idiots. You know, they're just stupid. I don't understand it. 9-month-old trainer training a student teaching. I agree, but companies force you into this. What are you supposed to do? I mean, they bring you in, don't tell you all this. They force you into it. It's the company doing this. Companies that do that, it's just horrible. Why would they want somebody without a lot of experience training as well? How does that benefit them other than it saves them money, I guess? They should want the most experienced drivers to train people. On your way to Winchester, and then Winchester, are you going back to Roaring Springs to grab a rental car in Fayetteville, grab your truck? Man, you're putting more miles on the rental car than I put in the semi. Your suggestion for a CD holder 2 months, where should you start? As a truck bed, like a flatbed specialist, you should go to Maverick. What's up with shippers loading trucks way too heavy? Night watch it. I don't know. What's up with shippers loading trucks way too heavy? Go back there and make them scale it, right? You meant cooks my books a little, work less. We don't want to cook. We don't want cooking books either. I can't do that. You should get paid a decent wage, right, for a day's pay. That's all I ask of companies. I don't know. I like driving 600 miles a day, listen to music and watch podcasts. And listen to podcasts, hopefully my podcast, because you know I have a podcast too. You can do 80 at Schneider. Do you own the truck at Schneider? You were, as far as backcountry, I meant Werner. I don't know why they don't do that there. You were overloaded by 14,000 pounds. Yeah, they shouldn't. They shouldn't. You know, sometimes they fudge the weights on stuff. I totally agree. California needed to change their laws. Good luck with that, right. California changed the speed limit. I don't ever see that happening. How do I feel about the Canadian way of getting drivers from India or somewhere and giving them a job? I don't like it. I did a video about it. It just puts local people out of work, and that's coming here to America. Don't worry about that. If they could do that, they would do that as well here because people don't have to make as much money. So not a great fan of it until all the local people are working. All it does is hold the pay down. You know, oh, Mark, you are against immigration. No, look, I want the pay to go up. The best way to get experienced drivers is not to just pay less to somebody from another country. Right? If you paid more, you'd get people to come to work. Example, if I had a trucking job, offered $75 an hour to a company driver, I'd have a line of people out there. So that means somewhere between what drivers are getting paid today and $75 an hour is the correct amount for people to work for, and, you'd get plenty of people. You feel like time off would be an issue with salary. You considered ChipX, but it equaled 35 cents. Well, it depends, right? I get my 5 weeks here like normal, so it depends how the salary at a company is set up and stuff like that. So I get vacation and holidays and everything. No problem. Wine industry keeps getting these black guys just horrible. Keep going. I know. This is why the industry has problems. Exactly, Timothy, right. Truckers need to eat healthier. I agree. We're on fasting again as usual. Started yesterday. You get to run 67 today. Too bad switching on this tractor at 5:30. Oh, really? Oh, that's really something. Too bad switching out of this tractor at 5:30 back to 64 then. I don't know that you get to run 67 if you GPS it. You may want to check that. $400,000 bond, yeah, but it's 10%, so 10% to a bondsman. I'm going to be here, new driver in July, but don't want to drive for a mega carrier. There's plenty of places to drive for, plenty of places. I have a whole section of the website, companies doing it better, at truckinganswersnation.com. Go check those companies out. You've got a couple months. Why are there always drivers in the middle lane driving slow, and then when you pass them on the left and then pass them, you sit in the middle? Yeah. This is just a problem with the industry, right? How many miles do I drive? When I put about 90 to 100,000 miles a year on here. Oh, company spotlight. I don't know who it'll be this week. Each day is a new day. Are they doing away with manuals? Yeah, they won't have manuals much longer. You don't have to worry about a manual endorsement at the moment, on the license or the restriction, right? What do you think their bosses are planning? I don't know what the DOT is planning. I wish they would make their announcement. You've been working in a new job with guaranteed pay and like it. Oh, well, good. I appreciate that, and thanks for the advice. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you for telling us that. I appreciate you being here. It's not safe, different rules in their country. Yeah, they would have to learn a whole new system, people that come over here, too. But it saves the company money. Day and, what the heck is that name? I can't even remember it right. But that company up there in Canada, right, that's what they're doing, and I thought it was ridiculous. Shippers need to be billed for misloading areas. I agree. Independent contractors should bill or drop. Well, you wouldn't have a right to bill them unless you do it in advance. A contract has to be an agreement between two people in advance of the work or whatever being performed. So you'd have to set that up in advance. You can't bill somebody later for something they didn't agree to pay it. We need to have more parking. Parking is the biggest problem in the industry for sure. There should be parking. Why are there all these open spots and they're not building parking spots? Should be no highway minimum under 80. No truck is going to be able to follow that, though. Hardly anybody goes it. Trucks moving at less than 65 are a hazard. I come upon these primes at night all the time going, 51, 52. It's just ridiculous. We don't need more immigration. Plenty of people here. There's plenty of people to fill the jobs. If the job paid better, the companies would be able to find drivers. They're already bringing foreigners. Go to Minneapolis. Oh, well, that is true, right. Somalis, they're in, that's true, right? Some companies are trying to do that already here. You like your pay at $1,400 a week minimum. That's pretty good. $70,000, we'll take that. What's the date for the next webinar? I don't have a set date for that. I haven't had much that's more interest in it. We'll see when a date. Let's do one, coming up here soon. How about that? Within less than a month. I just like working, and I posted the link to the last one on the web page so people can go see the last one on there. Just like working, 14 hours isn't long enough. Yikes, that was really a long day. Well, I would. I don't know about that, dope law. That's hard to say. I'm not no answer for that. No comment. Picking up melons here in Florida, going to Hickory. That's not great. Oh, you have lug buds down there already? Yikes. Yeah, Montana. They're going to raise their speed limit. Starting a keto diet after Memorial Day. Not hard to do. Yeah, you can do that stuff once stopping at Walmart once a week. Exactly. You can diet that way if you want. I'm doing the intermittent fasting, which works better for me. You have a tape from the 80s on weight loss. It's called duct tape. Yeah, that's a good one. Manual transmissions are going the way, exception, right, most heavy hauls. Volvo has a heavy haul automatic, too. That'll yank, tons of weight around with it. So pretty soon they're not going to have manuals for anything. Britain Transport, I've seen them, too. Freight brokers need to pay more. You need to not accept pay that is not acceptable to you. You get what you will accept. That's in any field, right? No Super 10s. Oh, I think there's still a couple Super 10s left because the drivers are trying to get back to change their truck out, but the truck won't shift fast enough, and so they're still trying to get back with them. Shouldn't be on the interstate until age 30. Man, that would have put a lot of us out of work. Christopher, you and James are having a love fest with that. Turnover is so high because drivers aren't trained. Well, if you're not trained properly, then you get frustrated and leave the industry, and so there's turnover. But then what happens is you sit there for a few months, and then you don't make any money. You're sitting, and then you go, wow, this is $400 or $500 a week. I could have made this being home, and that a lot of people leave for that. You were tricked by Celadon as a different name. I told them we want to think about it, and they hung up on you. Dang it. That guy from Celadon, let's see what his name is here. Oh, Danny Williams. He's being sued by the SEC personally now. They sued the company and got their money or whatever, Quality Cares. They're suing him personally for what he did there. Oh, and their stock, I looked it up today, 211. April 29th was 255. April 15th, it was 309. So in 5 weeks, the stock has gone down $1, which is almost 30% of that stock. Nice. Joshua, exactly. What are the top 3 companies? It depends on each field. I don't have a rating like that because it depends on what people want to do with themselves. Danny, I never had any issues with the Super 10. I haven't had any issues with one in probably 10 years because I haven't driven one since then. This was a bit hard to understand. Once you heard Celadon, I was thinking red flags. Yeah, they were a problem. Another phase, the companies and government gets away with it. Yeah, the companies get away with this. The government has no standards at all. Would raise truck speed limits to 65 in rural areas for California. I don't think it's going to go somewhere. I don't think it's going to pass. It would raise the limit. I don't think it's going to pass. Ron says podcasts are awesome. You can listen to the Trucking Answers podcast on your favorite app, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. I prefer 13-speed. I do prefer 13-speed, but you do really like, and I don't know, that fuzzed out on my screen. I couldn't see what you said. What's up with all the Canadian drivers? Hey, we're welcome all international drivers here. I have somebody that listens to the podcast from Slovakia, so pretty happy about that. Hey, what's going on, Troy from El Paso? Thanks for being here, and I appreciate that you're here. Today's topic is this I-70 driver posts out of a $400,000. He posts a $400,000 bond and gets out. Can you believe that? It doesn't make any sense. How do you post 400 grand? You only been in the country 2 years. I don't know. You tell me. That doesn't make any sense, but apparently he did it. So he posted this bond. You can post 40,000 to a. We can post 40,000, to a bail bondsman though, and get it that way. But that's still a lot of money to post. I don't know if you can put your house up or if it has to be a cash bond. I don't know what the Colorado law is on that kind of stuff. Either way, it's a lot of money. He's out. Plus, Starsky had their truck fail in Florida. What a mess that was, right? Wow, Bill, after your birthday, will I still be in the extreme upper 30s? Yes, the extreme upper 30s. 14 hours is plenty if you can't make good money. Yeah, 14 hours. If you don't make money in 14 hours, you need to find a better place. Now, he was saying he likes to work, but holy mackerel, there's other things in life besides work. Alf, nice. I'm back in a truck with an automatic for a little over a year. What do you think about that? There would be more spots to park if there weren't drop trailers or 10 bobtails. Yes, that's true, but there's still not nearly enough spots. We need tons more parking. That's going by at 5 p.m. The truck stop's already full because you got to get in early. You won't get a spot. Company driver review of Smith. Okay, 2,200 miles, and it's still Thursday to finish the week at Practical Mile. Look, from what you've said, right, it's way better than you think. A lot of the stuff that they talk about, though, they don't post. They just don't post it. I'll be 60, Alf. I'll be sick. Wow, Bill. Oh, yikes. I'll be 60 soon. Yikes. What the heck is going on with that? They bring in immigrants and double the birth date and double the welfare usage. Once the population gets so high, companies no longer have to compete. I don't like it. I don't like the whole idea. Rather than raising the pay, they bring in people that will accept a lower pay. That's not how you make a better industry. A truck here in Columbus. Truck is white. Front of truck is black from Love Bugs. Yikes. That's gross. PACCAR makes an 18-speed automatic. That's really something. I haven't seen one with that many gears yet. How many miles do you feel drivers should be trained? Beginning in June, oh, right. Prime did change their training standards. They're going to require 50,000 miles for training instead of the 40. And the trainer, somehow the trainer has to sign off on it or say that you're ready, that kind of thing. Prime did up their training, which is good. You know, how much should a driver be trained? I don't know that there's a set standard like, oh, it has to be exactly this amount. It's hard to say because some people would do really good at it. And then some people, even after 50,000, are not going to do it good at it. How about at a driver's tested at a certain point, and once they pass that, then they get it. They're in. That's how I think they should do it. I'd really like to see people have a 3-step license. For your first year, you're a novice on your CDL. Then you go to the state, take a test, take a written test, pass a driving test, a stringent test, and you become a professional. You change licenses. After 5 years, no tickets, no accidents, you can go down and test to become an expert. And so then you test and get an expert license, and you have to maintain no tickets, no accidents. And I think I'd like to see every trailer on your license also as an endorsement. So someone with a lot of experience would have an expert license with endorsement for all different kinds of trailers, and only experts could be trainers. That's how I'd like to see it. How do you get your name in here with a blue wrench? Blue wrenches are moderators in the channel, and they help the chat to stay clean and on topic, even though I'm hardly on topic myself. Maybe they should click on me, right? Like how we have the broker should have some type of law enforcement to regulate percentage on what we pay. Well, I don't know that you want the government to regulate what you're paid. I'm not in for that. Would I advise the iShift? There is a Volvo. I don't know which one it is. Volvo makes a heavy haul automatic transmission. They do. You're 23 and a great driver. Yeah, 30. I mean, you're never going to get anybody to do it if you hold it till 30 years old. Oh, my gosh. I thought 21 was, I don't know about that, but 30? No way. I wouldn't be in for that, right? You're 23, you already have experience, you're at a good company, making excellent money, right? More than most of the people that are 23 years old. Your husband works for Heinemann in Canada, which is owned by Celadon. He's been away from home for 5 weeks. If Celadon goes out of business, will it affect his company? Well, I don't know. If they're owned by Celadon, presumably, yeah. I mean, it would really make me nervous working at Celadon now, no matter what Celadon says, how great they're doing. Their stock's down 30% in 5 weeks. Now this guy who doesn't work there anymore, let's be honest, okay, he's former guy from Celadon at Quality Carriers is being sued. I mean, it would really bother me. I don't know that I'd stay there for that. You got to consider that yourself, but could they, they might come out and be a great place. I've always said this doesn't mean they're going to close. I don't have some kind of information about the company. I don't know, but it would just bother me personally to think, man, my company, their stock used to be $30. It's $2.11. It got delisted for a while. That's a problem. Why don't drivers go to work for European companies? We don't have any European companies here. That graphic says 4 million. I can back up worth the darn. And why not? Well, automatics, at least our automatics here, the new ones, if you smash, not the like button, but if you smash the accelerator and let off quick, right? Smash and let it off, it goes into creep mode. And so then it'll creep up to the dock just like a car, okay? Try that, and also turn off the hill start assist. Hit the hill start assist button, because depending on any kind of grade, it's going to give you a choppy ride. So when you're backing up, you should always hit the hill start assist button. Turn it off on an automatic. Were there any other stipulations upon his release? I didn't find any other stipulations in the news article that Steel Horse sent me. But there could be. There usually are some kind of stipulations. Can't leave the country, certainly. I don't even know if he can leave the state. I don't know. Not even though your bobtails just drop trailers, but you get RVs. They should not allow RVs. I don't know about hotshots. I mean, they're hauling freight too. Anybody hauling freight is okay with me, but RVs, go park somewhere else. Come on. Should make a roll call to see where your viewers are from. Yeah, where is everybody from? You're from Brazil and Utah. Oh, nice. You make $70,000 a year. That's really good, right? And that's more than the average person just in the population. Although drivers should make more, we do pretty good, right? You're an owner as not authorized. As an owner-operator at Crete, correct. Company drivers make more with the same experience. I think so. Now, an owner-operator, can certainly do better than a company driver. What I'm saying is a lease operator that runs solo, who's leasing the truck from their company, generally doesn't do better than a company driver. I've only found one person that can really claim that they're doing better, and that's in all this time, than most company drivers in the same situation. Roger Penske drives LA I-5 all the way to Oregon. CHP does not enforce it. They don't, mostly. They're sympathetic to truckers, just do the speed limit. 55 below 55 going down now. Been running California. Correct, but it's always a risk, right? Because what if you get that one cop that does enforce it? And really, they should raise the limit rather than kind of having this, closed hand, I won't enforce this kind of thing. The limit should be 55 across out in the desert there. I mean, really? There's nothing there. Automatics are nice in heavy traffic. You have a tell speed. I agree, right. East Columbia, that should mean something like drug lord posting bond. Nice. If a trainer has to sign off on the driver goes out and has an incident, can they come back on that trainer and hold the trainer responsible? No, I don't think so, and I think they should. I will tell you this, that this is how I would do the training. If you're a trainer and whatever your student, whatever they get while you're training them while they're together, while they're with you, okay, you get charged with that. So they're speeding, you get a ticket. They have an accident, that's your accident. You're the trainer, you're responsible. That's how I would make the trainers responsible for the students. Once they get off your truck, no, I don't think that should go back to you. You can't control what people do when they're not there, but you can while you are there. And so to keep the trainers awake, right, and everything, I would make the trainer be held responsible for the problems that the student has. He's from Cuba. Yeah, that guy was from Cuba, right. But I don't know that he's left or anything. There's no indication like that. There's no actually court date or anything yet. Maverick puts you through a training, tests you, and then you go out with a trainer. Then you come back and you get your truck. Do you pass the second round? Yeah. Look, I like the place, right? They ought to give me 4 cents every time I, tell somebody about them. Swift doesn't let you pick your student. Otherwise, you'd train. Well, but you can always say, I don't want that person. I think you can do that anywhere. You can always do that. I make more money at 23 than your parents ever did, and they're both retired. Good. I mean, that's great. Everybody should want their kids to do better than they did. And at 23, I mean, look where your future is going. You're going to be a multimillionaire, hopefully. You have 2 hours of driving. You need that 120 miles on the clock this day to have time to make it to the terminal next day. So if I have to run 2 hours, 20 minutes, you will. I understand people do it. I get it. People do it all the time. I get it. I just don't promote it or recommend it, because I think when you do that, when you take that 20 minutes, that could be 20 minutes, that instead of having it affect the company, it affects you. So I want it to affect them so that they have to increase their pay and hire more drivers. So me going over hours is not going to happen. They're going to have to come and get me. You're going to have to reschedule whatever they need to do, rather than, it hosing me. You're saying Volvo heavy all transmission is, I don't know. All I know is I read a thing that Volvo has an automatic that will pull heavy loads, because people were saying, well, I do heavy loads or what. They have an automatic that will tolerate heavy loads. So they can, it has a higher rating or whatever. Even on the 2015s with automatics, they have a creep mode. Okay, so right. You got a Freightliner ahead of the game as far as automatic. Right. So that you don't have to smash in the docks like the early automatics, which were a total disaster. He has to request time off to get home, and the company treats Western drivers different than Eastern drivers. Yeah, some companies here in the United States do that as well. Depending where you are in the country, the pay changes and stuff. Yeah, I agree. 5 weeks is a long time. I mean, if he wants to do it or whatever, I mean, it's okay with me, but that's a really, really long time. I just don't know 100% of how Canada works with that kind of stuff. DHL's European. Yeah, they're a European company, but they do a lot of business here, right? Jason's from Cincinnati. Oh, right. Fatty's in Greensburg, right down the street down there. Trucker for life in Wisconsin. Ryan O'Ryan. Hey, what's going on? Good to see you out there today. Flatbed rates for you are $2.33 a week last week. $2.33 a mile. What do you think? Oh, hello from Winnetoba. Winnipeg. Nice. Manitoba. Nice. What's the temperature up there today? Scott is in Poplar Grove. Everybody's right here in the Midwest almost. Jack Daniels, nice, from Carolina. If you would have said Kentucky, that would have been better. Kim in North Carolina, exactly. Stephen Foster from Iowa. James Faust back home again. Good. I hope you're doing good over there. The Critic from South Florida. Yikes. You're from Russia? All right. Well, welcome from Russia. My friend is your neighbor from Romania. I live in Amarillo, Texas. I drive locally, make $65,000 Monday through Friday, home every night. What's wrong with that? I mean, that's not bad, home every day, right? That's pretty good. Is that a salary? That'd be better yet. I'm heading out. Maybe catch me next week. Thanks, Joshua, for being here. I appreciate it. Saw a school bus depot had parked their buses like 27 in the truck stop. Oh, come on. I'd go in that truck stop and say, what's going on? Go get a picture of that, Get that picture out. Tweet that out and stuff. This is how we get this change, social media. That picture you should have immediately posted. Usually for that kind of thing, Twitter works good. And linking the local news companies on that picture on Twitter. That kind of stuff does really good. Right, at least 65 at least. Dayton Freight tops at 65 cents. I do see their ads. They go 63 miles an hour here. Pulling vans, plus their trucks do 70. They go 63 here because I pass them. Not a bad company. You heard good things. Right. Somebody going 70 or less is saving fuel except for everyone trying to get around them. All the rest of us are get hosed. Sorry, I only go 65 here. That's their policy here. Of course, what am I going to do? You lease but haul hazmat, chemical company. 2 loads a week gives you 2,000 to 3,000 net. Do you net that much? Local trucking is the only way to go. Any others are waste. Hopes and dreams, especially money. Road, the road doesn't pay near what it should pay. It can be a good living, but if you have a family or whatever, don't expect much of a life. You can't really, like this person who's in Canada has gone 5 weeks. That's tough to have a family. That's tough to say you're really a parent to your kids if you leave in January and don't see them until March. It's really a tough life. That's why it should really pay. $2,000 minimum. I think minimum to be gone. They're asking so much of you. You're literally giving up your whole life. It's not just a job that you leave from in an hour or 8 hours. You've given up your life for them. They should pay for it. And they'd get drivers. Okay. And they would make money. They would get drivers and make money. Volvo's heavy haul automated is an Eaton Ultra Shift. Oh, okay. Good. The Soul company should get sued. I think they have been sued. And, as far as I remember, years ago, didn't Prime get sued for that? And they won because they said, look, we're not doing anything illegal. It's illegal to do this. So there's really not much else to do. Check out Dayton. You should. I think you should check them. They run ads in Indianapolis, and it usually pays good. You're a Dutch national born in the U.S. and going back after 48 years. Oh, really? Why would you leave to go back there? Of course, that's your homeland, I guess. Best thing you like about the Freightliner Autumn DD 12 and 12 speed is at 2 different reverse gears. You can high speed it, right? Plus the Eaton Fuller automatic, so only have one. You can high speed, although you don't do that much. Troy, no, there is not any drama around here. You're Italian? Hello, you're Italian driving the Texas Panhandle. Nice. Got tornado warnings. Boy, International Day here. Thanks for being here. You worked in the oil field and drove a winch truck. Oh, really? And you had automatics. Right. And so they have some of them set up that can pull the weight. T.J. Jones and the Bull of the Woods. What's happening? Some people just don't have what it takes to be a driver. I agree. The trainer should be able to weed out those guys early and not waste the training time. Yeah, the trainer should be able to say at least, I'm not training this person. It's not for everybody. It's one of the questions I ask people if I talk to them or write to them or whatever, something I ask is, do you really want to do this? Do you have what it takes to do it? It's not for everybody. Am I sick of seeing drivers not getting paid for sitting at docks and 34-hour reset? Yeah. Look, am I sick? I talk about it all the time. Solitary soldier, look, absolutely. Am I sick of it? Yeah. You know who should be more sick of it? The person sitting in the dock. Why aren't they sick of it? That's always my question to somebody sitting for free. Why aren't you sick of it enough to leave the company that you work at? What are my thoughts on May trucking? I hate him with the passion that burns brightly. People have told me, look, May doesn't charge for this, but I haven't seen it in writing, and I've checked. So last I heard, which could be changed, that they charge drivers to idle the truck. So, and some drivers sent me their checks, so I know they do it because somebody wrote, they never do that. I have checks that show them taking the money out of your check. So, they charge you to idle the truck, and that isn't any good. That May is no good. They hit your truck. Well, that's that one driver, certainly. Smith, where did I go there? I lost it because I'm still way behind. Smith only hires with a year. That's I like that our trucks stay clean. They are nice trucks. 48 cents and 45 cents regional. So because they want you to go on the road, and it pays more, and it should pay more. The Walmart dedicated is higher. I like that. I like that better. California is 55 for revenue. We enforce the twosome, newsome, need your, yeah, it can be. That's the problem. If you're going faster, they could stop you, and I don't like it. Memphis, and you have the scars to prove it. Right. Lars will say if the drivers obey the hours of service, the accident would have happened. It should always be legal. You should all. That's always been my policy, I say. Run legal for many years. The slow trucks are costing everybody else gallons to get around them. Yeah, it's not saving everybody else fuel, but only saves them fuel. That's all they care about, right? Michael said it's a beautiful day in Tennessee. Much better than here. So I'm going to have to turn the heat on pretty soon. Does Maverick hire from South Florida? I don't know if they'll hire you that far south. You may have to take up a homestead somewhere else. Born and raised in Queens, New York. Did you leave there yet? David in Portland, Oregon. Because I don't know how people can afford to live there, Roderick is from Macomb, Mississippi. That's awesome. What is something your trainer taught you that really stuck out? All right. My trainer didn't teach me anything. I never had a trainer. How about that? I went from truck school, graduated Thursday, really, because Friday was the day. If whoever failed Thursday got to retest Friday because you had to come back in one day. This was in Illinois. I passed. I think only one person failed. And Monday I went to work. So never had a trainer. Mike Walls is from Northwest Florida. Your Freightliner has a 12-speed auto, and you pull 75,000. You manually keep your RPM at 1,300 or higher. Yeah, so yours does fine too. But what I'm saying is Volvo has one specific for heavy hauls that it's rated higher for that. 64 right now. He's paid, oh, really? No, it's warmer than I thought. You're warmer than here. It's 53 here. He's paid 54 cents a mile. Under 600 at 50 cents. That's better than sell it on pace here, I think. Not bad. It just bothers me, look, that the stock's down 30%. In that little bit of time, and they have all these problems. It bothers me. And would they close? If they're on that, I would think it would close. I don't know. It's something for you two to at least to talk about. How do you get P389s at Smith? Yeah, that's a good question. Why are there brokers allowed to rob us when there's some type of law enforcement to regulate what they pay? We have the DOT. Why isn't anyone on them to keep a fair? What is fair? What's fair? Do you want the government to set your pay? What if they said 8% is fair, or 14? What if they said the broker can keep 25%? That's fair. I mean, you don't want the government. Don't deal with brokers that keep a higher percentage than you want. The automatic creep mode is actually describing a prime driver operation mode going down the interstate. Yeah, maybe they're just in creep mode and they don't know it. They don't even realize. Maverick only hires the Midwest to the West Coast. Yeah, so that's a problem. I'm out 4 weeks and back 4 days. That's not terrible. There are people that are out for weeks and weeks at a time. We talk about drivers not getting paid for sitting. Yeah, I love talking about it. Drivers, why do you sit without getting paid? Let's ask that question. Why do you sit there and not get paid? I busted 235 out the door, closer to 320 last week, and had 2 long mile loads. See, that's not bad. So you're doing better than Flats at 233. So you're doing that. How is that possible? People say you can't do that. $3 a mile, that's some money, right? Downhill, you set the cruise 7 under the speed limit and let the auto Jake do the rest. Yeah, you can hit the down button on these automatics and it'll hold your speed going down the hills. Can I please check a company called Buzotos? They have a blended rate, no overtime. Yeah, some companies don't play overtime. What is a blended rate? I don't know what that is. You rarely touch the brakes, right? $57 per mile for drivers. That'd be a really good rate. Hey, Carrie from Asia. Wow. All the way over here. Thanks for being here. Do Italians know what tornadoes are? I think so. Can you please check a company called Buzotos? I don't know what that is. Roll-off business from Arizona. If you know what you're doing, then you don't need to take a 34-hour reset. I've run recaps the month and have done 3,000. It depends how you're dispatched, too. I mean, I agree that you should know how to do it, but it depends on the loads and how the loads time out. So they will charge you for sitting in a traffic jam. They could. They make the best Westerns. That's pretty good. Picking up Peru. Oh, so you're right around the corner, too, in Peru, Illinois. If you think an automatic trans can't pull heavy, you need to learn how to drive it. There's a reason for the manual option. Yes, what I'm saying is, though, that Volvo has a rated, one that's rated higher, so you can pull that and still have a warranty. I'd rather do 3,000 miles in 5.5 days and rest. Every person's different on that, right? Smith probably pays 65 cents because they only have a few trucks per DC, so you're probably not running. Well, it depends. Let's find out. Do they run people over there, Kim, on Walmart? Too much tax over here and thinking you're doing trucking regional, but you have to go through hoops. Got your Dutch CDL. Wow, all right. And got 2 years recognized. That's pretty good. I'm glad they did that. Why wouldn't they? I wonder if they all do that, if they recognize it from everywhere. It's 82 in Ripley, West Virginia. I wish. Or you're still in Queens. Your wife is a director at Amex. Oh, okay. So that's how you can live there. So she works Manhattan, we'll say? Maybe. Northwest Mississippi, we go back and forth seasonally to Colorado. 50s. It's 90 in Tampa. Yeah. 50 some cents. It's 53 here right now. What's going on from Memphis, Tennessee? Day cab driver. Who else is in Memphis? Yeah, Home Daily. Nice. Been living in this area for 15 years. You've seen quite a few. Yes. Tornadoes are a problem here. $57 per 1 mile. Yeah, not too many loads like that. So you have a 2018 Freightliner 12-speed running an unhandled tank at 79,000. Pulse fine running 72. Yes. Greetings from Amarillo. Sorry for the late join. Yikes, what is going on? Getting demerits here. Been at the DMV getting your medical card updated. Oh, okay. I did my physical last week. I talked about this on my fasting video, but I did my DOT physical last week because it was up and I got a 2-year physical. So you can get a 2-year physical even in your extreme upper 30s. My company does not do sleep apnea testing. It doesn't matter how big your neck is or anything. They don't do it. Eventually, the DOT will probably mandate it. They don't do it here. So I don't have to do any of that. Passed the physical. Got another 2-year like I always do every year. So great. How is that going? And we just fax it in here in Indiana, which has already been done. And so I get to drive for 2 more years at least. Companies shouldn't be obligated to pay you because you want to sit. Not having a load is different. You should get paid. Look, all companies should keep you running, right? Maverick would only hire you out of North Carolina if you're going to pull glass and go into Canada. I'm not a big fan of crossing the border. I don't know how long that takes. Maybe if people here cross and know, they could tell me. You've trained in the past and told the company after the second day this guy doesn't have what it takes. They told me to continue. And he was an accident. Oh, great. What a great place. Drove a train once. Diesel electric. That's how most of the trains are. 4,400 horsepower per unit. No transmission. That's correct because electric. 2.5% grave with 6,800 tons. Wow. That's the kind of load I want to get paid per pound. Not the Freightliner. I can't stand them. I've got a new 2019. I don't know. Other than this breakdown here, I kind of like mine. 13 is better for pulling grades. Yes, because you can split. I think the 13 is the best road transmission. So 389 Pete at Smith is the luck of the draw. You don't have to get one on orientation, which they give you out every 2 weeks, and then it turns into seniority. Well, so it's just you might get one, you might not. Maybe you could arrange it with your recruiter. I don't know. It's hot and humid in North Carolina. Yikes. Bring it over here. In Ontario, Canada, the trucks are governed at 100, right, which is about 61, but his truck top speed is 104. Oh, so he gets to go 65. Does he have to change? Does that change when he crosses the border there? I don't know. After the first hour, you get $4 for every 15 minutes, so you don't sit for free. Exactly. People shouldn't be. So the first hour, they usually count as a stop pay. So, but after that, you're getting $4 per 15 minutes, so you're getting paid. There's no reason for drivers to sit. There's some place that make you sit 4 hours and then give you $12 an hour. That's crazy. Why is that allowed? And the company blamed you as his trainer, won't let you train again? See, if you're with him, that's one thing. But beyond that, no way. Jonathan says it's snowing in Colorado. Really? How high up are you over there? And have you seen the guy that just bonded out? Have you seen him driving, headed, southeast towards Cuba? The one bad thing I could say about Smith so far is that it's a lot of really shorter loads. The other day you did 3 pickups into deliveries in 14 hours. Wow. Cash's King Trucking ought to go work there. He'd love it there. He's like, I want all the pickups I can get. Oh, man. He's probably typing out a mad email to me. Drivers rate in the Atlantic province in Canada are horrible. 35 cents to 42 cents Canadian. Wow. I don't know what the translation is on that, but 35 cents, it better be higher than that in the U.S. But it costs so much to live there. I don't understand how they get drivers. Or is that why they get drivers from other countries? You know, if they get drivers from other countries, then they wouldn't mind that much, that rate as much. You're unemployed at the moment. You're thinking about setting up for one of those calls, help you figure out what's best for you. You know, what is best for you? Why don't you ask it right here? We'll figure out what's best for you today. The Volvo VNX is what you're talking about, heavy haul. Tell everybody the area of the country you live in. You know, if you could pass a physical or a physical test and what you want to haul, how often do you want to be home? We'll get you a good company right here. If I ever looked into Bar None, yes, I did a video about them. Keep getting emails from them and their pay looks really good. Yes, I did a video about Bar None. Yep. Road truck 13-speed, hands down. Agree. Logger 18-speed, yeah, for off-road. If you're doing this off-road kind of logging, yeah, then an 18-speed. But I don't think an 18-speed on the road is necessary. 13-speed is going to be plenty for the road. Big Huge Mike said I did a video on Bar None. Yes. The Ultra Shift doesn't get anywhere as good as fuel mileage as the Packard transmission. I'm getting 8.2, 8.3 lifetime on my Freightliner Eaton 12-speed. So you can compare that to what you're getting with yours. Watching the channels made you grow as a business owner. Oh, well, I appreciate that. I don't do too much with the business side of it. Looking to hire your first CDL driver with experience. What do I think about offering 75 cents? Well, I think a driver would probably like that. But what I tell everybody that's going to hire people, right, they're your employee. Don't hose them on this 1099 garbage. I refused the live load out of Abco on Long Island. We're technically a forced dispatch. I feel good about it. Yeah, technically you're forced dispatch, but sometimes you don't have to do it. How come you didn't want the refrigerant load, by the way? I mean, I'd want to do it all I could to get out of Long Island. Sat in the door for 9 hours 2 weeks ago and 2.5 hours pay. That's crazy, right? And so now you say, I'd call them up and say, look, what's the deal? Why am I not getting paid? Why do I have to sit 6.5 hours for free? Do you sit 6.5 hours? Ask your dispatch that. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so his fuel, so his top speed doesn't change depending on crossing the line in Canada. That's pretty good. I thought they had that law. Yes, on orientation, they were very specific about you were going to run your 14 hours every day. Then you get back and go ask them for another load. They pay well because they get paid well. I agree. And some companies are like that, and that is what you're allowed to run. So, but they're upfront about it. I'd rather a company at least is honest about stuff rather than later trying to lie to you and stuff. If they're going to be honest, at least we can deal with that. Kay Wayne says it's a Rocky Mountain High, but not for John Denver today. It does if it's drop and hook. Oh, okay. That guy, all right, then it's not as bad. That guy that led the orientation class was a Walmart account driver. Okay. If you're not lazy while putting the work, you'll get the miles. Yeah, 65 cents is not bad, and they give you a weekend differential bonus. Most companies don't do that. Maybe the guy in Colorado is the guy. Oh, it's this guy right here. Holy mackerel. Are you the guy that bonded out? We want to talk to you right now. Ha! That's something. I never even thought about that. There's $15 stop pay. Right. So you're getting that on your bills, and we'll tell you which of the Walmarts you're delivering to are allowed to park at. I like that too. Your mileage pay actually includes the trip back to the DC. Yeah, that they tell you where you can park because you don't want to get towed away. Sitting in Indianapolis at Thermo King, getting your APU fixed and getting paid. Exactly. Breakdown pay should pay immediately. I get paid immediately for my Friday breakdown while I waited for them to tow me a truck. That pays beyond my salary. That pays extra money. Everybody should get paid for their time. It's not some kind of weird radical idea. Companies are like, pay their time. Yeah, just pay people for their time. That's all. Ryan O loves his 13. Yeah, you're one of the last ones on the road, unfortunately. But isn't that the greatest road transmission? And, when you're light, people don't know. You can skip those because you don't have to go all through 13 if you've never driven one. You get to skip through them, so it's not a big problem. You make 13 hours an hour working only 12 hours a week. That's not great. $13 an hour. I mean, it depends what you are personally doing. J-Man, hey, yeah, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. Be safe. Head back on the road. See you next Monday at 1. We are here live next week on Memorial Day. Working a retirement home doing laundry. Oh, okay. So that's different than a driver. But you only work 12 hours a week. And so, look, if that fits your what you're doing, that's great. Why do you like refrigerated over the road? Because for me, at least, when I was doing over the road refrigerated, I got the longest miles. And that's what I like on the road. I don't like doing a lot of stops. I just don't. So coast to coast, that's the way I like to roll. And the refrigerated loads always seem to be longer loads. I didn't have to worry about stuff picking up and delivering every day. So that's how it worked. 40 cents Canadian is in kilometers. Right. We need to figure out the translation of that. Paying drivers more, promoting more pay for the industry overall is good business learning. Oh, well, thank you. That's true. As an owner, if you want a low turnover, pay them more and be fair and be honest. Exactly. And just be honest up front with people. So many of these companies lie. Why do they have to do that? Here's what we pay, 28 cents a mile. At least be honest about it up front. In Holland, on top of pay, you get overnight pay. If we're away from home all week, it's 90 euros a week, and it's intended for the extra cost for food and truck stops. That's pretty good. So you get extra 90 euros, $90, right, to pay for food and stuff like that. Oh, how much is the food at a truck stop over there? That's a really good question. We should go to Holland and do a video over there, a live video from Holland. I think that'd be a blast. Maybe we can get that arranged somehow. I'll call the whoever's in charge of Holland and see if we can make that happen. Do a Holland video for them. You actually love Freightliners, and a Freightliner automatic transmissions is the only one that you use. You became a Detroit Diesel fan. Yeah, you're late to the party with Detroit. They've always been really good. Do I like refrigerated over van? I do, because the loads are longer. I always thought the loads were longer loads. So the miles, I don't want to stop every day and get loaded and unloaded. It takes forever. And you don't make as much, even though you're getting paid. You don't make as much on the mile. You make more mileage than you do getting paid. So give me a long coast-to-coast refrigerated, Stockton, California to Pennsylvania. That's my kind of load. Jordan, thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's great to see you here, and thank you very much. How do owner-operators get detention pay for dock time? Do they take that into account? Yeah, that should all be in your rate to start with, I believe. I'm not an owner-operator, but I think that is, you work that all into your rate. Is this rate? See, that owner-operator is different. They have to say, here's what the load pays. Is that going to be enough for all this time? So you're running a business, and I think it's a little different doing it that way. Smith recruiters will tell you they will not guarantee you any equipment no matter how much experience you have. Well, at least that's fair. They're being honest about it. I just thought it's worth a shot. And you'll get what they have when you get there. That's fair enough. At least they're honest about it. Don't say, yeah, you can get it, and then when you get here, they don't give it to you. 2019 Volvo is averaging 9.2. That's really good. That's money right there if you own that truck. Here at Schneider, you can be sitting in the dock for 20 hours and only get $300. That's crazy. Oh, here at Schneider, you can be sitting 20 hours and only get $300. Well, no, wait a minute. I'm thinking 20 days. 20 hours, that's $15 an hour, 14, 10. Yeah, right. That's not terrible. But, somebody wrote to me from Schneider that they make you take, and if you're there at Schneider, is this true? They make you take a sleep apnea test at your own cost before they'll hire you. What the heck is that? And they linked in, the emails back and forth with the place. So come on. They even send some students every week down to the Georgia terminal to pick up trucks, which they pay you $150 on your first paycheck. Good. Because they don't have enough trucks where you are. How do owner operators get paid detention? Right. They take that into account. They should. Oh, you weren't in New York or in Pittston. Oh, so you had to go get it. Oh, that's different. Now I'm with you. Right. Forget that. So shopping in Holland is expensive compared to the USA. I will tell you this, that truck stops in the United States of America here, they're no joke either. It's expensive in there. I saw bananas at one place where they were $1 a piece for a banana. So, that's, well, €1.20 or whatever per banana. That's crazy. I don't know what the translation could be, 10 cents a euros. I don't know. His company gave him, but that's a lot of money. His company gave him a raise, but then changed insurance companies, so now it costs more per month, so he's not ahead. See, that isn't any good. They give you the money, and then you're just going to take it back on the insurance. Maybe it's time to start checking around. If he's got a ton of experience, I'm sure Canada's like here where they need drivers as well. Just make some calls. That doesn't cost anything. That costs nothing. You could even do it for him if you're working 12 hours. Maybe take a few minutes on one day and call a company and see what they got to offer. Worth it. Oh, right. How much is a roller dog? How much are roller wieners in Holland? We need to know that. Average cost of a plate of hot food is 15 to 18 euros. Oh, whoa. All right. Well, that's expensive. Creek carries is $30 after 2 hours as an owner-operator. At $30 an hour, at least it's after 2 hours. That's not great money, though. You worked in Europe and USA as a truck driver. In USA, you get paid better, and shopping in the USA is cheaper. Why? You get paid better here than Europe? Above all, Europe, center, so Holland, Germany, France, really. The problem here is that, eating and stuff at the truck stop is super expensive, and there's just no parking here. Although we can go faster. Isn't the limit like 58, 57, 58, 95 or something like that over there? Friend of mine just got a CDL. He wants, where should he go? Well, we got to know about your friend. What part of the country does he live in? What kind of trucking does he do? All that stuff. Does he want to be gone? Does he have what it takes to be a driver? There's more than just getting your CDL. Where did he get his CDL, by the way? Did he pay for it himself? Peterbilt 379 has come in. What's happening? We're doing good here. You think the 12-speed automatic is better than the 10-speed? Yeah, those old 10-speed automatics, the 910 shift is really long on it. And that's what I have on this loaner truck. That's what I'm saying. I mean, yikes. It's even better than a 10-speed manual. You have 2 extra gears, even if it's not a 13, and you have the Detroit. I agree with you. The Netherlands has the tastiest windmill cookies. Oh, those are delicious. The other day, your son all beat up 70s Peterbilt 379 straight truck. Who makes a straight truck out of a gigantic Peterbilt? He should go to the internet and do research. Nobody else can decide what's best for him. Yeah, I mean, he needs to do certainly a ton of research. Steel horse, demerits for you. There were cows on the road. All round up. Were you actually the one rounding them up? It's time for you to get ready. You'll be listening. I don't catch you when you log out. Be safe. Hey, thanks for being here, Big Huge Mike. It's good to see you today. Get that jacket on, depending where you are. Yikes. Driver in many buffet restaurants near Walmart. You can actually go to Walmart. And if you were in a Walmart, it'd be cheaper to eat in there, really. You hate companies that treat drivers like a blind horse. Be them in one side and take it out their mouth the other. No matter what a company pays, no matter any of it, they should always be truthful about it up front with people. What that they lie about it has always just been amazing to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. Because when the driver comes in, they're going to figure this out. Oh, I'm only getting 35 cents? You said 50 cents. Oh, yeah, wow, yeah. That's crazy that companies do that. Chris, hello. Thank you for being here today. Truck stops in Europe are small and get full at 6 o'clock. So you're having the same parking problem we're having. What are the driving rules over there, compared to here, since we have, the other side of the world on here? How many hours a day do you get to work, and how many hours do you then have to sleep? And you sleep in the truck, right? They have those Mans and all those cab over trucks. Mercedes. Ooh, nice. Framemiller's a decent company, and they train new drivers. They do. And I've sent some people to them that are in California, because it's hard to get a training company in California. You put the cows up with the county cops? Really? This is crazy. Were you driving around with a bunch of cows on the road? Or are they Hopefully they're not on the interstate. That could be a big disaster. We need some of these people that wanted to go haul cattle to actually, they could start right there by hauling cattle for those, right there on those people. Now that you're here, we're talking about this driver that posted bond, and you're the one that sent it to me. What do you think about that he posted this much bond? Truck stops in the United States are big at 150 spots with 3 spots left at 330. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the only place that has any spots left is Walcott, Iowa. Okay, so you can drive 9 hours a day. Oh, so then there's an even bigger parking problem. $1 to Canadian is 74 cents. Oh my gosh. So really, so the 35 cents is only 3/4 of that. So 29 cents. Yeah, that's crazy. That's my opinion on Lone Star. I don't know anything about Lone Star. Night is the same with the sleep apnea. Do they make you take the test in advance? A driver wrote to me and said that they're asking him to take the test in advance at Schneider at his own cost. Plus Schneider's household goods miles, so that's just enough right there. But they wanted him to take the sleep apnea test in advance and pay for it himself. And of course, if you take it before you're hired, there's no insurance. You got to pay for it. They want to turn it back to 48 hours a week in Holland. Wow. So you could only work 48 hours a week. Imagine that, everybody. What if they turned the hours back in the United States to 48 hours a week? What would you think about that? They've still got Argosies. Yes, they'll run. You can run a Freightliner cab over there. You're allowed to drive 10 hours twice a week. Oh, that's nice of them. Well, it should pay way more than here. The less hours you work, the more it pays. This Loves is full now. Well, it is already in the middle of the afternoon. They've turned it back, but they're always around. I'm sure people cheat there too, just like they do here. Since I do a very special company of the week, yeah, that's how it had to change a little bit to keep it on the air. There was really nothing more I could do about that. What time is it there? What time is it there in metric? In Europe, it's 90. Oh, okay. I thought it was like 57. So 90. So you get to go 55 miles an hour and drive only a few hours a day. What a disaster. Want to know how he came up with the money. Just wanted to let you know a video about Martin is wrong. But the way they pay Rand Martin, I did Martin with an E if we're talking about the same Martin. Okay, they advertise practical miles. Okay, they pay practical miles in their ads. So how is it wrong? And I'll change it if it's wrong. So that's what they're advertising. A mile is 2.5 kilometers. So company drivers get 65 cents a mile. Oh, okay, so they're paying it kilometers. 65 cents a mile Canadian. All right, that's not terrible, right? I would pay the company if I could only work 48 hours. Yeah, I think this week you're only getting 48 hours because I saw earlier you said you were off today. Europe has very strict rules compared to the U.S. That's crazy. If they limit your pay that much, there must be a huge need for drivers, and therefore the pay should be really good. Jordan is 23, 5 months experience of driving for Swift. What do you think about that? What good company requires only 6 months? What is wrong with Swift? Let's put it that way. Changing jobs can be a hassle. You lose money over a few weeks. What is the problem at Swift? Why you don't think you would want to stay there at this point in time? You drive 90 hours in 2 weeks. First week 50, second week 40. But if they're limiting you to such few hours relative to here, the pay should be even higher because of the costs. They must need drivers. Check out Crafty Trucker. They drive for Lone Star. Oh, I didn't know that. That's pretty good. I've seen their videos, by the way. I like to, not all of them, apparently. I like to be at 48 hours a week and make $50 an hour. That's pretty good, right? You know what? I was surprised when I got to Smith and learned that they had paid practical miles. They didn't advertise it, and they don't put a whole lot out there. That's true. They're very secretive, which it makes it hard to get good drivers. Something like that they should put out there. Every load that you pulled has either been dead on mileage-wise or, or 15 to 20 miles off. That's not bad. Sometimes you get paid more. Oh, that's nice. But, of course, you send a Qualcomm message in to say, hey, you paid me too much money. That's the only way to cut back on your hours is calling up. Yeah, because they work you to death over at that place. That's a place that needs drivers. You'd think they could get more people over there. Wow. There's an over-the-road flatbed company in Quebec that started paying its drivers by the hour. I saw that. There was a Canadian company, I can't remember the name of it, where the road drivers are paid by the hour. Kind of like JAT here, which I showed, which is one of the only places I found here. JAT in Fort Wayne, Indiana, pays over the road drivers by the hour, including overtime. That's pretty good. Another bad thing about Smith, yikes, that you thought of, depending on who you are, all the 2017s have super singles. All the brand new ones have dualies and ridges in them. I'm not opposed to the singles. Whatever the company gives, I see other trucks have them. Some owner operators get them, so I'm not super sad about them or anything. Although I've never driven them to see. It's not like trucks don't use them, so they have to be, half decent, Oh, Fatty 2x4. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I love the channel. It's probably your favorite to tune into. Well, thank you very much, and I appreciate you being here today and every Monday. Thanks for being here. What are my thoughts on Schneider? I'm not a fan of it now that somebody wrote to me with the sleep apnea, the household goods miles. I mean, there's just too much that you have to pay $1,500 because your neck is over 17 inches around. What difference does that make? They didn't even ask me if I sleep at the DOT physical here. It doesn't make any sense. And they just want you to pay for it just so they don't have to pay for it, and presumably to wean you out so they don't have to pay for your ongoing CPAP machine and all that. I'm just not a fan of it anymore. There's too many other places that are good that you don't have to tolerate this kind of stuff. Oh, okay, Kim. Do you have a super singles on your truck too? That's interesting. Trailers are a mix because you have 6 different brands of trailers, so it depends as far as trailers. Have you never seen a trailer with a see-through top? Oh, yeah. We've got some of those, right. It always bothers me in the winter. I'm wondering if that snow's going to come through there. Haven't seen any with holes in them. Oh, average starting pay is 1,500 euros per 40 hours. For experienced driver, between 25 and 3,500, 3,000 euros for 40 hours. That's not bad. Well, of course, I don't know. It depends what it costs to live there. I mean, that seems good. You'll have to tell me if that's good. I still got my collection of old Freightliner Century NASCAR haulers. Wow, from when he was a little kid. But keep those. That's really good. What do I think about Texas oil field driving? Look, I hear tons of good things about it. There's plenty of people putting videos up about, the money that's to be made there. But it's just like being on a road job, though. You're gone from your family. You go live there. Most of the places will put you up. They have housing, and they feed your face there. So you're at the house, some of them. And so you're going to live there. It's just like being an over-the-road job. You're just not over the road. So it's not much different than being over the road. You got to fly back to your house and then fly out there. But, you can make money. My friend personally went to North Dakota, but this has been many years ago now. And he did really good. Over $2,000 a week in his pocket every week that he was up there. I should do a video on Schuster. I talked to the recruiters extensively and like their company. They pull ice cream and you pick it up. They even give you a small tin of it. That almost like Ghirardelli, right? Because they give you a ton of stuff over there. This month is my 40 hours a week. This is a month for 40 hours a week. Every month is 40 hours a week. As an owner-operator, you negotiate your detention pay and your lumper fees into your contract just like your line haul rate. All right, that's what we're looking for. Good. I was wondering about that. So you figure that out, negotiate it in, get the money, and you're all set. Maverick is the place to start if you can pass a hair follicle. Everybody should be able to pass a hair follicle test. There was another driver this week that got busted on the CBD oil. Be careful. I know people say it helps them, it helps their pain or whatever. Be very careful on taking that stuff. You get a positive on a drug screen, you're immediately fired. I can't think of a company that wouldn't fire you. You'll never get a job. I mean, it's a huge problem. Be very careful about it. I know people tell me, it's legal and everything. I get it. I wouldn't do it. Too scary. JB Hunt requires 3 months, and they're leaps and bounds better than many carriers. They're not the best by far, but above the head of Swift. These companies are crazy. A lot of them are weird. Your friend worked for Schneider. Really, they took a lot of money from him. First year his paycheck was around $500 a week. That's $25,000. What year was that? Martin Rand McNally, also sliding scale. You make the most of the money from detention. They do have this automatic detention. They do have a sliding scale, but they pay practical miles. So they said. Which company paid over 60 cents as a company driver? Some do, right? I think bar none is right on the money at 60 cents. How do I get a Texas oil field job? Most of them seem to advertise on Craigslist. Find the Midland, Odessa Craigslist for Texas, and most of them have ads there in the transport section. Start calling them and compare. And then always, just like any other company, go research that company. Did they open 2 weeks ago? Do they have one truck? Or they've been open for 10 years and have 100 trucks? It makes a difference. Will they hire new CDL drivers? I don't think so. I don't think most of them will, but you can call them. I think that's the kind of thing they might want experience, but hey, there's people that hire students everywhere, so there's probably some down there. Something else you forgot to mention about Smith is they own a company out of Indiana that does flatbed called the I-65. Yeah, you've said that. I've never seen one of their trucks. And do water trucks for well services, and they get paid well. They should, right? I've never seen one of those trucks going down the road, by the way. And I've been by Remington and never seen a truck there. From what I'm told, the reason that we have a shortage of trucks is the reason that we're overhiring is because Smith is trying to expand west and get more dedicated accounts. Nobody should overhire. We don't want people sitting around. James Faust, let's go back to the good old days of 15 cents a mile, 9-day layover, no AC, no power steering, cab over, single buck team trucks, run 5 logbooks. Well, I've done part of that. I will say on the road, I've never had a truck that didn't have air unless it stopped working. Truck school, we didn't have air. I've had them without power steering. I've had the cab overs, certainly, without power steering on the road. Always had at least a power passenger window because it was air operated. And you forgot to mention the air operated wipers, if you remember those. So the air assisted steering. And so you're backing up. Every time you turn the steering wheel, for people that don't know, it had an air assist. So you're turning the wheel, you can hear it. And so that's using your air. Your brakes are using your air. And then the wipers would go really slow. And the passenger window of my truck would go down because air was holding the window up. So just the craziest thing. In the rain, the wipers slow down. You're running out of air. And you have to sit there backing in to build air up so you could turn the steering wheel. And I never ran more than 3 logbooks at one time. If you can't pass a drug screen, you don't need to come out here, period. You should be able to pass any drug screen. I'm thinking about Schuster, but I live in Scranton, and they want me to come drive a rental car all the way to Iowa. Yeah, that'd be all right with me. I mean, if that's a place you want to work and they're going to get you home and they'll give you a car, right, I'll drive a car to Iowa, no problem. When I do a video on JB Hunt, they don't put a lot of information out as you think they would, which they should. And they do a lot of different stuff. But I should do a JB Hunt video. The good thing is that they really work hard to get your guaranteed pay. They should. Any company that does that right should be put out there as a better place. You worked for JB Hunt and didn't like the intermodal. I've heard there's a lot of problems with their intermodal problem. A lot of drivers don't realize that trucking is not covered under the 40-hour week rule. That's correct. That's how come you don't get paid overtime. A lot of these companies pay miles. Okay, but some companies do pay overtime. They don't have to pay it. They're not prohibited from paying it. A lot of companies do pay it. If I was hourly, I would get overtime. We pay it. Yellow, all these companies, they pay overtime. Are we exempt from it? Yes. So companies can work you without it. But you don't have to work without it. You can go get it because you get what you'll accept in pay and in life. So once you raise your own standard and say, all right, I'm not going to accept 25 cents a mile anymore. Okay, so I'm raising myself beyond that. And then as soon as that happens, we just don't accept that. Don't accept sitting free. Don't accept not being paid for your time. Don't accept it. The other day you saw an FLC Freightliner day cab. Holy mackerel. Another one I haven't seen for a long time. We live in a very rural area, no interstate around. Oh, all right. That explains it. Cows just on a country road. Oh, glad it was daylight. Oh, yikes. That would be something. You don't want to hit a cow at night. Now, are you so rural that you have all the cow catchers on the road, those metal bars that go across the road? Can give us a good company to work for. Well, in Holland, I wouldn't know who to work for there. Where did I, let's go back to, okay, so where I lost my spot, I'm a disaster here, right? Okay, so wrong, it's 1,500 euros a month for beginning driver. Oh, okay, and 3,000 a month. Okay, so that's different, 3,000 a month euros. I was thinking 3,000 euros a week doesn't sound like terrible pay. All right, so 3,000 a month euro, is that good money? I don't know what the costs are there. Is that good relative to anything? 36,000 euros? Most oil field companies require a year. I think most of them are going to require a year, but I got to believe, just like in trucking, there's got to be some company down there that'll take a student. Can a Canadian drive for a company in the USA? You'd have to have some kind of work permit if you worked here, right? They'd have to have a company there. So I think working in the U.S., you'd have to have a green card or a work permit. I don't know 100% on the immigration part of it, okay? That'd be something to search out. But I think you need a work permit if they don't have a Canadian division. You have a 2015 Freightliner. That's not bad. So you have super singles, but they are XDMs, so they're a lot better. Well, okay, so I think they're better. I've always said that they must be better because the cross pattern on them is only 445, 455. Where two 275s is 550. So you'd get more weight per square inch of tire on the ground and bite in better. That's what I think. And you're saying they're better in the snow. I think they'd be better in the snow, but I haven't driven them in the snow. Obama tried to get truckers overtime, but Texas judge blocked it. Yeah, that's probably true. People, they put this kind of thing forward all the time where transportation is exempt from the FMLA, and so then they say, well, no, transportation shouldn't be exempt. And then the courts go, yeah, maybe it should be. It doesn't make any sense. What Smith are we talking about? We're talking about Smith Transportation. South of San Antonio, Texas, oil field is hiring. They have them all the way out that far? Anime, I appreciate the time. I appreciate that. Thanks for being here. What cab over did I have? I had a white Road Commander cab over in truck school, and then after that, I had Freightliner and International cab overs that I drove periodically until probably the mid-90s when we finally switched over to conventionals, which is what I've had ever since. Good company, 6 months experience, all endorsements. Got to get away from CRST, yes. I can live in a truck, no home time. License is unrestricted from California. Well, there's Dot Foods in California, which is one of the places out there that I always tell people to call. Call Dot Foods. And Frame Miller's out there too, but I'd call Dot Foods first. If you remember the air assist steering, you might be in your extreme lower 40s. No, you can be in your extreme upper 30s and still remember air assist steering, where you would turn the wheel and then the air would go down and you couldn't turn the wheel anymore. You're better off with manual steering, really. The thing that holds me back from Schuster is you've read multiple places that the safety is a tough guy to deal with. Guess the best you could put in dispatch, like to play favorites. That's almost everywhere, right? It's hard to get around that anywhere. You work for Swift, just got a CDL. What's a good company to start with? What's wrong with the company you are at? If you work for Swift, what is wrong there that you want to change? Because changing costs money and time. Think I-65 has something like 30 trucks. Oh, that's why. Smith, you mean like hiring more people than they have trucks for last week. That's why they send you down to these other terminals probably. The most told lie was the cop back in the 70s and 80s. You left your logbook at the truck stop. Oh, dang it. I forgot it at the truck stop. I was filling it out inside there. Heavy Metal Trucker says 3,000 euros is $33.50 US. But is that good money there? It depends what it costs to live there. 3,000 euros, depending where you live, might be good money. Rented ton trucks for Penske for the orientation guys. Oh, Penske semi-trucks. Good. My boss called last week asking if I had a passport. Said he was checking the network. I would tell him, what does it pay to cross the border? Because most places I see that have regular border crossings pay. So you need to get pay to cross the border. Stevens will take you the pneumatic tanker with 9 months. Stevens does have tanker jobs in the oil fields. They don't advertise it much, and I don't have any idea or what it pays. Okay, pneumatic, right, sand tankers. I don't have any idea what it pays. They don't ever talk about it. How much a mile would it take for you to get back on that road? On the road commode, yeah. This is too important. The work I'm doing here, I believe, is more important than going back on the road. So, cowcatcher on the private entrance. All right, so they have those bar things on there, right? If I live in Scranton, give Smith a call and just talk. They'll tell you anything you need to know, as long as they're going to be honest. I mean, it's worth working at a company that is honest. Air assist steering. Well, Rob, Bill, you're not old enough to remember, but they did have steering that was assisted by air. Yep, air assist. Next time I see, I'll tell you about it. But as far as Schuster, if they're going to give you the rental car and pay for your hotels on the way there and either pay for fuel, why not? I agree. Look, if they'll pay you, that doesn't seem far. You should get a hotel in the Midway. But yeah, that's better than Greyhound. Somebody wrote to me that said they took a Greyhound from California to Detroit for one of the famously large companies. I mean, really? Company, it was 4 days. Can you imagine that? 4 days in a bus? You could drive for Cardinal. They'll train you in the oil fields. All right, $1,200. That's low for oil fields. Hopefully that goes up after training. Does it affect anything if you put in multiple applications? No, I don't think so. It's not like doing a bunch of credit apps. But look, you shouldn't have to put in multiple applications. Call these companies, fill out a piece of paper for yourself, compare, and then call back the ones you're interested in, narrow it down, work it that way, rather than applying at 50 different places. We don't want to do that. Just only apply at the place you want to work. Frey Miller will fly you to orientation in a single room by yourself. I think that's important too. I don't mind a car, though. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You like your cab over a DAF XF350. Wow, with an MX-13. No problem with the engine. Runs good. Yeah, I'd love to see a picture of that. Would you send me a picture of that? That would be great. I'll post that in the gallery. Dustin, you're quite welcome. $1,500 to $1,800 for Stevens. That's the best pay Stevens has. I'll tell you that. To haul sand, and you're in the field, and you get good benefits from a large place. At least it won't close. There are a lot of people down there that are just running a few trucks or whatever. It's scary. A little scary. You got to be careful. Do I drive outside the city? Absolutely. The city here is only 50,000 people. You should put in multiplication. You should. They don't check with each other. That's true. They don't check, but it's just annoying filling out all these applications. I only want to apply to the place I want to work. There's a local company by you called Gross Refrigerated Service, basically home weekends and are paid by the load. But the load, if the price goes down, like they're saying rates and stuff have gone down, your pay can go down when you get paid by the load. So that's why I say I prefer either a guarantee or a salary. You know what you're going to make. Over here at Dot Foods, we slip seat trucks. It could be a couple months. They told me, now I called Dot Foods, I did call. And they said that if you were over the road, you didn't slip seat. It depended on if you were 7'7", 4'4". It depended on how you worked. That's what they told me. What do you say about that? 4 days on a Greyhound is equal to 12 dog years. Look, I cannot imagine a company telling me that I have to go from California to Detroit on a Greyhound, and it's going to be 4 days. Like, you're going to leave now. You're going to show up on, at the end of the week. Who would do that? I mean, look, all right, I guess I say that now, but if you're new, you may not have a choice. I should say that. But what company would do that to their drivers and say, oh, well, we just need you to take the bus. You're not going to get a shower. You're not going to get much sleep because you got to fight off the people on meth that are in the bus. I mean, it's just crazy. If you go over the road, you need to bring your cat. I agree. You're single and back living at home. Of course, you take the cat with you naturally. I wonder what she would think about that. Probably not much. If you have to work a visa or green card, if you work for a Canadian branch of a company, you can pull a load to the U.S. You can't deliver a load from inside to another place. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll take your word for that. But I think to work here for a U.S. company, right, you're going to need a visa, right, or a green card. So you're going to need to find a company that's got a Canadian part of their company. Stevens lowered that pay with drop in sand rates. Oh, that would stink. If you're working somewhere and they lower the pay, but really $1,800 is still not terrible. As a Canadian, you could pull a load from Canada to the U.S. and then another from the U.S. back to Canada. You can't keep staying in the U.S. delivering freight. It's against the law. Yes. Jimmy, you're quite welcome. Thanks for being here. Where did I go? 12 dog years. Nobody should take a bus for 4 days. No company should insist that people take a bus for 4 days. I was assigned to a truck your first day, no slip seating. They told me if you were road or whatever, no slip seating. Now 4 and 4, 7 and 7, yeah, because I understand they don't want the truck to sit for 7 days with no driver. I totally understand that. But if you're in the truck, they said no, that was your truck. Roy says you only slip if you're not full-time at Dot Foods. That's what they were saying to me, so that's what they were saying, right. They need to pay for a flight from that far across the country, yeah, or they can give me a car, pay me, and give me motels and gas money up front. But Greyhound for 4 days, absolutely not. They're right there is a quit time. Or if nothing else, use the free Wi-Fi on the Greyhound to get a new job before you end up at the other end of it. If you're over the road, you don't slip seat. Okay, exactly. ShipX pays a salary of $11.25. Well, I like ShipX because of the bonus program, and I think I'd earn it there. At 15,000 miles a month at ShipX, you get $2,000 a week salary. So that's for me. And their loads are 1,400 mile average load, 13-something average. A lot of drop and hook. So it's my kind of driving. You know, refrigerated, long distance. I'd get the bonus because that's my kind of road driving. And even so, $11.25, you get that even if there's a problem and you can't work, which is better than a lot of places, which people write to me all the time and say, I just sat 3 days and didn't get anything. And that is no good at all. Just to clarify, we're talking about Smith out of Roaring Springs. Yes, the black trucks and the chrome. Pilot is advertising overnight radio looking for sand and water haulers in the oil fields. All right, there's another place. A pilot is doing sand and water. Is this a different kind of pilot? I heard about the spotted lanternfly permit. I have. For Eastern Pennsylvania, we had to get them. It's like an orange handicap placard. Yes. I thought it was some kind of joke. But no, if you go into certain parts of Pennsylvania, you have to get a spotted lanternfly permit. And it sticks on the truck. Look it up. I mean, seriously. It's the craziest thing I ever heard of, but it is true. It doesn't cost anything, I don't think. And only one person at your company has to get the permit, and then they're supposed to train everybody else. Yeah, totally true story. Swift is a Canadian part of their company. That's probably true. It's called Swift, eh? Canada sold all their good trailers. Every time you pick up a trailer, there's some kind of issues. I bet. They sold all their best everything, honestly. You can look that up. They sold their schools. They basically sold everything. They sold desks. I think everybody in the office has to just stand. They just stand there because there's no desks or anything. They did sell everything. Look, seriously, it bothers me that their stock's down even 30% more in 5 weeks. Now, this guy's being sued by the SEC. It bothers me. It would bother me a lot, you know, and at least, even if you don't want to quit, if he doesn't want to quit there, he should at least be ready to quit. You know, be ready in case something happens. Everybody should actually be like that. If a company offered me $1 to drive the Road Commander, I would drive it locally. Certainly. It was a fun drive. It was fun to learn, and I will say that. That's what's bad about Walmart is slip seating. I agree. To slip seat a road truck that you were in all week, no way. And at Walmart, you come in and you get a new truck every time that you're there. Lanternfly permit. Another reason you don't want them in Pennsylvania, I don't think it costs extra. Maybe you want to get yours. There's probably an 8-stop run you can take over there, and that it's in lanternfly country. And it's the spotted lanternfly. Don't mix it up with the regular lanternfly. Okay, so that's the same pilot, so they haul that down there. That's pretty good. They bought Bridger Transportation in the oil fields. Oh, all right. So it's a different place, but pilot. It's still working for pilot. That's good. When you said like a green card, it's called a sponsor Canadian to come here. So D-Boy 611, it's Pilot Flying J. Well, that wouldn't be a bad place. They have good benefits. Pilot Flying J bought a big operation in all the fields called Bridger. That's pretty good. I didn't know that. Celadon does not have a driving school. No, they sold their school, at least the one in Indianapolis, because it made the news around here. They sold it to make money for themselves. And that's the thing. They're like selling everything. It's like a fire sale there. I think that some of the office people have to work from their car. They just pull into just like a parking lot and work because the building is like locked up. I don't know if that's true or not. All those fuel points driving reefer. You get more fuel points. That's correct. And then think about that. Right. Swift, yes. Butterfly paper. You're headed that way. You'll let you know how it goes. There's only a couple of counties that need the lanternfly, the spotted lanternfly permit. I don't know which ones they are. You've been in Pennsylvania a lot. Wonder what areas. It's on the website of the spotted lanternfly permit. You'll see it on there. Heard Swift is changing their name to Screw Them. They should, depending who it is there. I'll never Greyhound again, Amtrak. Oh, that'd be interesting. I wouldn't mind taking an Amtrak across there if I had my own room. I'd probably go along with that. Celadon had to send their fax machines, and now they're using carrier pigeons. Yeah, they don't let you do any of that stuff there. Who did they sell a fax machine to? We have 500 fax machines, and we'll take $40 for all of them. Smith Fluid Orientation gave you a rental car to do the loaner truck. See, so that's taking a driver and saying, all right, you're a professional. We'll fly you. We give you a car. You know, professionals don't go 4 days on a Greyhound. If your company's doing that to you, and let's just say this company that this person said, I don't like to use company names on here, so I'm just going to call them CR England, and so we'll just leave it at that. And that's, if they're doing that to you, that's not a good company. They're not treating you like a professional. You think the CEO of a company like CR England goes around on a Greyhound? I don't think so. Ryan is giving us an alert that roller wieners are $1. They're on sale. Oh, I'm in for that, right. Soon to be new CDL, but still in school. Oh, well, welcome. It's definitely been stressful. I know. It's very stressful trying to figure out where to start. There's so many bad places, that there's not enough good places. It's a shame. What's my opinion of Cisco and U.S. Foods are delivering beer? Well, I worked for RC Cola for a while, so that may be similar to delivering beer in one of those trucks with all the side doors on it. RC Cola is just as horrible as some beers are, so there's that. That was a lot of work. The trucks with the 10 side doors, that's a ton of work. Cisco advertises $75,000 here. I drove for U.S. Foods many years ago. It's probably different now. This was a long route to Boston and back for them. Cisco was work too because you have to unload at most of the places. Depends what you want to do. If you want to unload, they're running $75,000 ads to start. There's a big worry of Celadon facing the fate as Arrow. I know, it bothers me. It just bothers me that at any moment the whole thing could collapse. The other thing, at the any moment, it could just get great too. Steel Horse will never crack count. I agree. As soon as they say that, you're like, forget it. But I understand that if you're new and you're in a truck and they go, you have to go here, and you don't have any money and any options, you may not have any choice. And that's disappointing that a company does that to you, knowing that you don't have any choice. They couldn't do that to experienced drivers. You'd be like, forget it. I'm just going to Enterprise. I'm leaving. Have I heard about Trinity Logistics? TLG, no. Heinemann is known as the Celadon Swift. Really? They closed their Winnipeg terminal. I've never heard of them, of course, because they're not here, but I'll take your word for that. The Canadian Swift. I don't know if that's good or not. Probably not great. All the Solano 03 LLC trucks are poorly maintained. Any company that is named Solano 03 LLC is probably not a great place. 14 counties. All right, here's the Pennsylvania counties listed here where you need your permit. What state this company's ShipX run out of? They're in Salt Lake City. ShipX is in Salt Lake City, and they run nationwide though because they get all these long. They have all these long runs. Yeah, Swift exactly. Solano 03 LLC has no choice of his truck. I don't know. I never heard of that place. Western Distribution was the first contract to carry to haul coolers. They still pay the same as they did back then. I don't think they can change under 21. Minors cannot be in possession of alcohol. Oh, that's interesting. You're not in possession of it, though. It's in the trailer. What about pistols, too? Could haul pistols. I don't think that'd be a problem because you're hauling an interstate and it's locked up. Maybe they'd make some kind of exception in there, but you couldn't be in possession in the truck, but I don't think it's a problem hauling it for freight. That is an interesting thing, though. Just looked at a 379 Pete 2005. Wow, with 780,000 miles. Owner's asking 25. How reliable? Okay, some owner-operator out here running these old trucks needs to let me know about this one. As a company driver, for me, that's really old truck. So let's see if I can get an owner-operator to give a better opinion than that. Hey, you're stuck in Flagstaff. Been here since Thursday. I'm looking at a calendar. Truck is broken. They thought Rod, then injector, had to call International to see what they could do to figure it out. That isn't any good. Friday night, my truck broke down. They towed a truck to me. They rented a truck and then towed it to me and gave it to me. And I got paid while I waited. Do you own the truck? My dad always said eventually everyone will work for McDonald's, Walmart, or J.B. Hunt, or Swift. How was maneuvering that RC Cola truck into and out of those convenience stores? Not bad, right? A single axle, tiny International 4300 or whatever, and that short trailer was not terrible at all. Room, always room. I didn't find, this is around the Chicago area. They were out of, I don't remember where, downtown Chicago somewhere. Oh my gosh, it was so long ago. But it wasn't that bad. And the trucks were automatics then, probably like a 6-speed automatic or something, and it wasn't terrible. All the work, this was summer. I mean, all the work was really the problem. It's a lot of work. I'll send the picture. Oh, great. I'll get that picture. I love seeing those trucks. Heineman is selling the Winnipeg yard. You're opinion to Cisco, it isn't really worth it out in the elements all day hand unloading. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work. That's what I'm saying. You're going to run that conveyor, and it's work. It's work. So the 75 is 75 worth it? You're saying no way. So always something to fix on an old truck, however you don't have a high payment. That's correct. $25,000, not bad. A lot of people in the parking lot have cars worth more than that. A lot of guys swear up and down by the old Pete's. They do. And there's certainly parts for it. And you'll get all kinds of thumbs up on the road, certainly. So if that's important to you, you're going to get the thumbs up. Tina Robertson, thank you very much. I appreciate that today. Thanks for being here. Castellano plays rats out of the maze, and truckers get 40 felonies. Yeah, in any place that's got a weird name like that with a number and LLC and all that, that is not a trucking company kind of name. You know, that's a weird kind of name. We have them on our trucks in either our permit books or windshield because our main terminal is in Blair County. Oh, and it's one of the terminals where you need it. So somebody at your company took the test because it only has to be one person at a company. I remember reading that. And they're supposed to train everybody, which they just put stickers on the trucks. But that's how it worked. Exactly. You had to watch like a 5-minute video. That's your training, and take a quiz on it. And they told you, congratulations, you're certified. Exactly. I don't know that they even need to do that, right? Dynamic has long-nosed Pete's. Yeah, but they have some issues on their in their manual, which I did a video about this. Their driver manual shows them charging late fees, $100 late fee and stuff. No way would I have anything to do with that place. Dynamic charges you, the driver, a late fee if you're late. Isn't that great? They charge you for the lock. They charge you for load locks. They charge you all this other stuff. Not interested. I wouldn't, if you don't call them on time, they charge you out of your check, which is not allowed. But it's in their driver manual. I wouldn't have anything to do with a place like that. They're not allowed to do that. One of the other things, carriers are reducing their orientation time. What do you think about that? So Estes Express was the one in the article, but a lot of places are doing this. They're reducing the orientation. They're having you take orientation classes at your house. And now, like Estes, you can go in there, apparently, from what it said, and get your truck the same day and take a load out the same night, because all this long orientation is preventing drivers from going to work somewhere. You know, I'm sort of for it and not, because you're not getting paid for this time, but then at least you're getting a load sooner. So how long is the orientation at your places? It's a week where I work, which is crazy. 03 LLC means the last LLC folded and reopened under a new name. Oh, well, that's even worse, right? You should watch the video. You were thinking about them. Because of that stuff, I'm out. I mean, I'm out of it. Chris, want to know we appreciate what you do for us. I personally learn a lot from the channel, and I like the sarcasm. Take it up. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, and thanks for being here and watching. So you guys know you should really look it up because they started cracking down, I'm sure, right? And it's a $4,000 fine. So if you own your own truck and go in there, you're going to have to go take the test or whatever and get your spotted lanternfly permit so you don't get fined by the spotted lanternfly police. I don't know who would enforce it, but they're probably watching it. You get a lot of thumbs up with twin pistol fingers, and that old Pete, you might, because owner-operators are mad at you for that. You don't have a huge payment on that old, you don't see the old Pete's around, and there's plenty of parts for them. You can chrome the crap out of that thing too and get it looking good. It's another thing about Smith. They'll send you an Amtrak if it's cheap enough. It can't be cheap enough. I wanted to take it from Atlanta to Pennsylvania, but they told me they'd rather send you on a plane. Exactly. My wife looked into taking Amtrak. She goes every August to go see her son who lives in Seattle, Washington, okay? So she takes a week-long trip out there to go see him, and she's like, oh, let's check out Amtrak. So she goes by herself, so it won't affect the show here. Not that anybody cares, but look. So we checked Amtrak. Oh, my God, it's super expensive. So forget that. So Delta it is all the way. But Amtrak was like $1,800 or some kind of crazy amount. It's just crazy. So no way. Amtrak, there can't be any cheaper. They're better off renting you a car. Heard Celadon sold their headlights and now they just give you flashlights. You just have you drive during the day. That's all they do there. I'm also looking at Holland. Yeah, Holland would pay good. And S&S, I don't know about them. Oh, Holland Enterprises, right? I did a video about them. I always think Holland here, the orange trucks. I did a video about Holland Enterprises, right? I like the place. Long length of haul, nice trucks, TVs and everything. Yeah. All the terminals have cars drivers can check out. Are they all banged up? Are they in good shape? And do they say Smith on them or whatever? Let's ask because I'm a car nut here. What kind of car is it? Sent your friend to ShipX, and he completed orientation as his first week. All right. Well, please let us know how it's going. I'm always really nervous putting a company out there, really, because I don't want people to get at a place that isn't any good. I want people to make good money. And I think if and I tell people about ShipX, all right, coming out there, you got to be ready to run. The $1,100 a week you can get anywhere. Their regular salary, that's nothing. But at ShipX, if you put on 15,000 miles a month, you can get $2,000 a week at that place. That's money. That's $100,000 running by yourself in a new truck. Not bad, but it isn't for people that like sitting around. So it's not trucking for everybody. So I got to keep up with that. Please let us know. What are my thoughts on Amazon undercutting carriers? Well, as a non-owner operator, I do know what you're talking about, but it doesn't affect me much. What are my thoughts? I'm thinking, I knew that eventually something like that would happen. Some big place is going to undercut to get in the market and force everybody out of business, and then they'll be able to get all the money for themselves. I think it's going to hurt owner-operators a lot. You got a $140 a day and $10 cash for lunch at orientation. That's better than a lot of places for 5 days. But the problem is 5 days is a long time to sit in orientation. Ours is a week too. It's crazy. They show video after video. I'm like, come on, get people to work here. Roller wieners are on sale. Count me in. You're stopping. Who wants one? Roller wieners are on you. All right. Where are you? We're going to come and get one. Right. I know. I'm trying to keep up. I'm way behind. I'm trying to keep up. I wish you would drive for a different company. One treats them like a person, not just a driver number. I agree. You need to have a company that treats you with respect. They don't have to know my name or whatever, but they need to be respectful. And part of that is paying you for your time. The company needs to have a policy where, look, if you travel, it's in a car or a plane, you get your own room. If there's a problem, we're going to pay you. They're going to give you a decent truck, all of that. That's all part of respect. That's all anybody asks for at any job. There's no reason a company can't do that. To send you for 4 days on a bus across the country is crazy. 4 days in a Greyhound bus? How many stops is that across there? 400 stops? Changing buses 6 times? That's ridiculous. Right there, you're at a horrible place. You'll have to check out ShipX. Being single now, you feel like you're ready to run. Yeah, it's for runners. Okay, check out their pay and how their bonus program works, because the money there is in the bonuses. The regular pay is good because, remember, you get it even when you're home. So being on a salary at ShipX, you get paid where you're sitting at home. There are people sitting at a dock that don't make anything. But the money there really is in the bonuses. Your friend is a runner. Yesterday made 675 miles. Now that's somebody who's going to make some money at ShipX. If you can work your clock legally, okay, run your miles without sitting around looking around at all the the medieval helmets at the Loves, and get going out there, you can make money at the place. You can. And they have free insurance too, by the way, at ShipX, free health insurance. So don't forget about however much you're paying now. Think about that. It would save you that much a week as well. Free health insurance. Not bad. Ryan. I appreciate that. Thank you. I do try to keep up. Sometimes I get behind. You never buy from Amazon again. You're going to tell people not to buy from them. It's kind of like Walmart, though. You can tell people, but people still go in there. Amazon, people are going to buy from Amazon. They just are. I mean, I got a book last week from them that came in, an actual book. So people are going to buy there. There's just no way to stop it. And, the rates are kind of, look, it's capitalism, right? I mean, honestly, if they can run the freight at a certain rate, is that bad? Because there'll always be people to run other freight. Amazon can't deliver absolutely everything to everybody. There's always a market for somebody who's willing to do a good job at a rate. They can't deliver everything. At our orientation is a week. That's long. I mean, geez, 3 days for paper, and the rest of the time you could prove our trainers you could successfully load a car hauler. All right. Well, if you have a car, that's a specific kind of thing. I can understand it's a little longer there. That's one thing. But if you're pulling just a dry van around, it's not like it's super complicated. A car hauler, I get that. On people wrecking, loading a bunch of Ferraris up there and wrecking everything. People don't know how to shift them or whatever. Smith driving lesson, hazmat lesson, and so much. Yeah, I mean, come on. You're going to check out, Tina's going to check out ShipX. Yeah, go investigate. Give them a call and, learn the whole pay program, because it isn't just the salary, and see what you think. Is it something you can do? Because it's going to take stamina to run the miles to make really good money there with the free health insurance. So if it isn't something you can do, you're not going to make as great a money there, and you're going to think it's just average pay. So Swift stigma, you wouldn't want to work there. Yeah, well, if something pays, I don't mind what the truck says on it. Jimmy, now I'm ready to run. Good, but I think 1 day off for 1 week out is outdated. If I stay out 3 weeks, I want at least 4 or 5, maybe 5 days. Some companies will work with you, though. I want to stay out 3 weeks, so give me 5 days off. Sometimes they'll do it, especially if you're a good driver. They're not 100% held to that, usually. K. Wayne, they have. Exactly. Yes, they have. He has a pickup at Amazon to load in the States going to Canada. There you go. There's an Amazon load right now. Is it by me? Is it in Lebanon, Indiana here? Prime racer training to 50,000 miles for training. Too long, in my opinion. It depends who it is, though. Some people need 50,000 miles. Some people don't need 10,000 miles of training. It should be individual. If you can show proficiency, you should be able to pass it. Because you have to sit there 50,000 doesn't necessarily mean you need 50,000. How about it's individual by individual? Maybe somebody need 100,000 miles. Holy mackerel, so how about that? And is this 50,000, is that mountain driving? Is that snow? Or what are they going to do? If it's somebody that's on a dedicated run that goes from, Baton Rouge to Amarillo every day or something, they're never going to get through the mountains or anything, and we're going to have a problem just like this goofball on I-70. So part of it depends on what they're doing. Who's shopping at Love's these days? I feel like their key demographic is medieval cowboys. Hey, don't put down medieval cowboys. Where else? Let's ask this. Where else are you going to get, a medieval hat? That's for sure. One thing, you could buy the thing with your points too. One thing I've noticed, especially with over-the-road companies, is it's tough trying to find good health benefits. That's true. There's a tanker company in PA called Venezia. I've seen them, and has excellent health benefits. Yeah, it varies so much. I pay about $65 a week for the health insurance part of my benefits for me and the wife, which I think is pretty good after calling places. Some places like ShipX, it's free. And I've called some places where it's $150 a week. So it varies wildly. So it depends on what you need out of it too. We use a lot of the benefits here. So if you're pretty much healthier, maybe you don't need as much of it. Absolutely, though. That's something, for your specific situation. If you need it, maybe ShipX is the way to go with free health insurance, or another place that gives them free. Or even like Venezia, if they're good, they're worth paying for. Because just because you pay for it, if they don't cover anything, it still isn't worth anything. You just remembered something funny about England. That could be anything. Going through orientation, they certify you, as a brake inspector, so that the liability is on you if your brakes fail. Oh, come on. How do they certify you on that you're a brake inspector? Really? Is it say CBI on your shirt, certified brake inspector? You still have a piece of paper. They give you a certification to carry with you. Who do you show that to? But I see what you're saying, though. So that, oh, your brakes are bad, liability is on you. I mean, come on, certified brake inspector. Here, they don't want you looking at the brakes. They said if you have a problem with your brakes, take it to a shop and have a mechanic look at it. That's policy here. Certified brake inspector. Prime does teams during training so they can keep their training. I don't like you going out teaming. I don't like you to team at all if you're in training. If you need training, according to the company, that you're a student, then how can you drive the truck with somebody sleeping? That's no different. I might as well train you from my house then. I mean, what's the difference if I put a little camera there and I go to sleep too? It doesn't. That's not training. That's not right for you. If you need training, you should be trained. The trainer should be up, sitting in that seat. PetSmart right now picked up in Groveport, Ohio, going to Toronto, Canada. Oh, okay, so it's not over here. Too bad. Medieval helmet scare cows. You need to go and get one to get those cows out of the road. Will the robots that eventually take over the trucking industry have to ride the crackdown to robot orientation? Yes, it'll be driven by another robot. And during the time and the crackdown, they'll probably all decide to kill all of us, presumably. Come on, England. A certified brake inspector. I mean, really? So every England driver that I see on the road, since they're out of orientation, is a certified brake inspector. Is that correct? The state police and the USD enforce the spotted lantern flies. Oh, so state police, if you don't have the permit, they come out and say something? That's crazy, too. That's different than this brake inspector. It's an invasive species from Vietnam, and what I remember from that 5-minute test. You should know all of it. You're certified now. How can I can I find my miles driven? How can I find? I didn't pay attention from the beginning. Driven 5 weeks with lead and 2 other trucks as a team for 5 months. I don't know. The company should keep track of it, right? Your company should be keeping track of the total miles that you've driven. And usually what they do, unfortunately, is the miles on the load, not the miles you actually drive. A lot of companies do that to hose you on it too. No, you're saving your Loves points for the medieval shield to go with the white cowboy hat I bought the other day. Oh, you look great in that. If you take that and send a picture, that is going to go. I'll put that on the homepage of the website. That is going to be great. I'll tweet that out and everything. Noah, from certain parts of the Northeast, like Ohio and Maine, they get you on an Amtrak. Because there's limited availability of cars and flights. Okay. So that's the only reason they would use Amtrak then. I mean, Amtrak is like the most expensive way to travel. I really thought it was going to be cheaper too. I thought, oh, she'll have a nice trip or whatever when the wife goes to Seattle here in August. But it was like $2,000 round trip to Seattle. And it was a couple of 2 days, 2.5 days. Not bad. It came with food and everything if you got the room with the shower in it. But I thought, holy mackerel, that's a lot of money. Considering it's Amtrak, for God's sakes. The tracks were made in the 1800s. Favorite truck stop in Holland, small mom and pop operation, not much parking. Somehow you can't pass the site. Trenchburg Den Bosch. I'm trying to pronounce it. Not good at that. Yeah, look, if it's your favorite place, go in and support it because you're going to turn into the United States here where every little truck stop is closed and taken over by every conglomerate corporation, and it's all turned into every truck stop is the same and they're all horrible. If you're medieval cowboy, do you have chainmail? Oh, I want to see that too. Oh my gosh. Do a video in that whole outfit. Can you drive longer than 50,000? You can drive longer than 50,000 if you need to. I did see that somebody put a video up about it that you can stay longer if you feel like you need more training time. But I think that since they're going to put this 50,000, let's get you through the mountains, right? It shouldn't be on somebody in a dedicated run that goes through the South. That's not right. It should be somebody that runs all over the place. Let's get you through the north, through the northwest, through the mountains. Let's put you out in Manhattan making deliveries, right? In Brooklyn and everything. Let's do all this. In California, if they shut you down for brakes out of adjustment and you don't have a certified brake adjustment card, you have to call a mechanic rather than adjusting themselves. Good. That is policy here. We're not allowed to work on the truck. The policy here is call a mechanic. You're not a mechanic. We don't want you working on the truck. So that would be policy here, and I'm kind of in on it, really. Cars at the main terminal are brand new Ford Fusions. They're hybrids. Really? They have a Smith license plate? Oh, that's pretty good. If that matters, but not written on the car. Okay, that's cool that they have a personalized plate. They buy Fusion hybrids? That's expensive. I just wondered if there's some old beat up, Astro van or something that they're running around. So that's good. Someone in Atlanta is like a 2000 Taurus. Well, 2007. Well, you can't have it all good. Either way, it's still a free car, which is better than most places give you. Let's be honest, every driver should write all load information down, including loaded and empty miles. Yes, you should keep all your load information. Totally true, right? Where in Seattle? I'm in Ballard in North Seattle. Seattle. She flies into SeaTac and he picks her up over there. I've never been there. I'm assuming they're England trucks on the road with 3 certified. Oh, each England truck has 3 certified brake inspectors. That's correct. So when they get out, it wouldn't hardly take them any time to do this. And they probably Rochambeau the off one because you can't divide them evenly. So, because there's 10. So they got to, rock, paper, scissors, bam. Right. Oh, you got to do the 4. You got to get 4. So I wonder if that person gets paid extra. Certified. I've never heard of that. No one's ever said anything about it. So that's really great that they have all these certified brake inspectors. Maybe the England drivers can make a little extra money on the weekends at the truck stop doing brake inspections, especially before the June 4th through 6th, what is this here? Road check, 4th through 6th. Although it's not focused on brakes, they'll be down there anyway. That could put the Flying J and all that out of business. You call a mechanic, you don't want to shoot a spring into your lung. Yeah, look, I don't really, I don't know. These are self-adjusting brakes now. I don't know exactly what you're supposed to do to them. And policy here is you're not a mechanic, you're a driver. We have people that do that. So if you feel there's a problem, you could take it to a shop, of course, or they'll send a mechanic out if you don't think it's safe. But they don't want us doing work on the trucks. That's really good. When you're team driving, are the miles you count the load miles or individual drivers for? I don't know. It depends on your company and how they count it. You probably get half of the load miles. That's probably how they'll do it. They'll split it in half. So 2,000 mile load, you'll each get 1,000 counted towards you, probably, no matter what you actually drive. But it depends on your company's policy. I'm not allowed to work on the truck for insurance reasons. A qualified mechanic has to do it. So you're doing the same thing there that my company does here. But unfortunately here in the United States, you can work on it if you want to. Some companies make you do it, and then apparently England wants you to do it. Of course, free, right? Does drivers get paid to inspect their brakes? Probably not. So it's free here, unpaid. But I agree with you that I'm not doing it. That's their truck. It should be ready for the road every day. And if it isn't, it's going to go over to them and they're going to make it ready for the road and pay me until it's done. That's my policy on it. That way each guy is responsible for the brakes on one axle. Oh, yeah, well, but there's 3. So who gets, maybe they do split it like that. The guy driving the steers and the other guys go down left and right. I'm not sure. Maybe it depends which bed you sleep in. Unless they're all in one. I don't know. They gave me an idea. Next time you're on a 34, you need a wheel polishing machine. There are people that do that make money doing that. But do you have to get a permit? Like, are you a certified wheel polisher? Every driver should know how to adjust brakes. They should. They're self-adjusting. What do you think of more companies becoming union, not just more than now? I don't think that's ever going to happen. It's only like 10% or something. There's less and less union companies, and that's why people aren't getting paid anything. I see less and less union companies. Smith is 2.5 days. That's not terrible. 2 Wednesday and half a Thursday. We don't do hazmat. That's good. So you don't have to keep your hazmat on there. Although I do think you should always keep the hazmat. Once you get through training at Prime, you get a nice lightweight truck. It's up to you, right? 5 cents. You get an extra nickel to run those. Then you do a small. You got to get out and change your mind. This is interesting because that lightweight truck, and I've seen them, that's way bigger than the trucks I used to drive over the road with a coffin, 36-inch coffin sleeper that you couldn't stand up in, and the bed was right behind the seats. So I think it's interesting. That's interesting to see how trucking has changed. People think that lightweight truck is small. That's nothing. That truck would have been gigantic when I started driving. So, it's really interesting it's all perspective. That's a pretty big truck. You wonder if high dollar wieners are better than dollar roller wieners. Well, there's only one way to find out. We have to put one of each in our mouth and try them. There's no automatic brake adjustment on disc brakes, just slides. Okay, it says these are auto. There's a sticker on the side of the trailer. Drivers should know how to turn a wrench. I don't work on the truck. Say hello to Blue Parrot. Get on the road. Thanks. Oh, yes. Always say hello to Blue Parrot. And I will tell you, this week I just saw it. The 450 is $110 this week, which is the lowest price I've ever seen on a Blue Parrot 450. Not bad. So you need a 36-hour break when driving in Canada. You get extra time off. You get a few extra driving hours, though. We get paid $25 if we can fix our own hydraulic line. Nice. If we blow one, they give us repair kits. That's different for hydraulic, for what you're doing there, because you have so many of them. And they're paying you to do it. I guarantee you these brake inspectors at England aren't getting paid anything to inspect their brakes or do anything else to their truck. Does anyone know anything about Continental Carbonic? Oh, I've never seen that place. Unions are a way to guarantee your pay. Yeah, that's exactly correct, right? But unfortunately, drivers prefer to not get paid, I guess. I mean, I don't know. The best food on the road is the strip clubs. I don't know about that. Good food. You can get a free shower at some of the places in Nevada. Let's put it that way. What if you place your drum brakes and you did a bad job? Are you or the company responsible if you get in an accident? You would be. You did the work. So the work has to be done correctly. You need to have in court, they would say you have to have the experience and the skill level to do that job correctly. So if you don't, you are the one responsible for the poor job on the brakes. Certainly. This could be the week you get the Parrot. I've seen it for 110. 110 on that 450. Not bad. I think for that, to get the voice on it. Now, we're all not like Steel Horse that can replace our own batteries in our Blue Parrot. So some of us got to buy new ones. But I think a 450 for 110 right now, that's the lowest I've seen it. Not bad. Rhino, a little salty, maybe. 14 hours, right. You got more drive time in Canada and you get a little more time off. Is a Twit card worth getting if you need it? I think if you're going to a place that needs it, yeah. But most places where you need it, they'll let you get it. I don't have one. So if you're going to need it, yes. Otherwise, no. Because if you don't need it, it's total waste. It's not like you can just use it suddenly. If you're at a company that never uses it, they're not going to use it. You can always get it whenever you need it. Trucking industry is by far the worst ever. You pay peanuts. You'll never get drivers, just the wheel holders. It depends. I mean, places that pay good get people to stay. We have a lot of people here that have stayed for quite some time. Steel Horse says, don't get a 550, get a 450. Yeah, I don't know that there's enough difference, especially since when I saw this 450 for 110, the 550 was 199. And I don't know that that's enough. There's enough difference to jump that much. But the 450 for 110 was, I thought, a really good price. Twit cards worth it. You've had loads that required them. If you have loads or go places that require the card, then certainly get it. England should take that time that they're using to certify drivers to adjust brakes and teach them how to back a trailer. Oh, yeah. Well, then they would have to give them a card that's a certified trailer backer. Where's that 450 deal? That is, I have it. It's at Amazon. I saw that at Amazon. Look up that 450 at Amazon, and that's $109.95 or something like that. In New York, you can get that strip club steak. I don't know about that. Never been in there in New York. Is the Teamster still union out there for drivers? Yeah, but there's just not enough of them. But there's just not enough, and it's hardly any companies. For hot shotting, you need a 650 or 750. You need more than, the more weight you can put on, the more money you make, right? Try the Blue Tiger. No, not here. This channel, right? I'm all about the Blue Parrot headset. You pay for peanuts, you get monkeys. Exactly. That's what I always say. You know, if people think it's expensive to hire a professional, try hiring an amateur. That's what really costs money. It never costs you to hire a professional in their field. Continental Carbonics is in Brookhaven, Mississippi. Solo drivers make 70 to 80. Oh, not bad. And all their drinks stay bubbly. I know a few guys that run Atlanta and Dallas, and they're home every week. Not bad. Right, exactly. They will pay you more for having a Twit card if the company requires the Twit card. Seems like many companies will hose you. That's correct, right. So if they need a Twit card, they're going to want you to get it, and their pay is going to be whatever it is. But a company that doesn't need it, you're just wasting your money, although I guess you could tax deduct it. But that's about it. Strip club outside of Gainesville, I'm not that'd be for a different channel. We could do reviews of those. Sapphires. You know, you shouldn't know where these places are. Why are you not driving? Why do you have all the time to stop at all these places? That isn't any good. You know, we don't want to just be stopping at all these places like that. Holy moly. I'll put this out there. I think I have that there. Right. Where did this go? Mark, what are you doing? Right. Oh, I'm moving things around. There's the dashboard. All right. So I think I can put this back in the thing. I'll put this link for the headset in here right now. So I think I got it. I did it. Wow. I'm amazing. I did this technology just like it was yesterday. You can have liquor in the car even if you're 15. Constructive possession unless mom is tossing one back on the way home. I think you can haul it in the semi even if you're 18 because it's the load. It isn't your liquor. You tried boiled peanuts for the first time. Aren't they delicious? Oh, come on. It was gross. I thought they were super good. You can get them all through the South. I love getting a bag of those. They're super delicious. Crap strip club of the week. Yikes. I hope we kill you if you went to... Well, she should. You shouldn't be going in strip clubs. I mean, come on. I grew up near Sapphire Steakhouse. Yikes. What? You guys shouldn't know all this stuff. You get the crabs and you eat at a strip club. Yes, exactly. We'll leave it at that. Right. Your son lives near there. You all got to move. You need a hobby or something. What's going on down at that place? Holy moly. Certified trailer backer. Yeah, do you get all these cards? Certified brake inspector, certified trailer backer, certified headlight turnarounder. It's a rest stop with food and shower. Yeah, I've seen the signs out there. Bought them from the store already canned. Oh, okay. Look, truck stops through the South. Some of them, I'm sure everybody knows this. Oh, Mark, we all know this. They have boiled peanuts. Okay, and you just get a bag and shovel them in the bag. They're delicious. They have flavored ones, unflavored. Get a bag of them. Munch them, super good, right? Amtrak is cool. You've used them. I wanted to go Amtrak. She wanted to go on Amtrak, but I thought, it's way more. The ticket was at $700 something for the plane ticket. Amtrak was almost 3 times a plane ticket. So, and it took longer. So we just didn't do it because it's so far. Maybe someday when we retire, we'll travel around, or whatever. But on Amtrak, but for her going there, the flight is just a lot simpler to do it. Area 51 has the good burgers. Oh, well, yeah, maybe. Yeah, canned is no good. You can't get boiled peanuts canned. Go get the fresh ones. Tina says they rock. I totally agree. They're super delicious. Get a bag of them at the back of the truck stop. How good are they? You just like the food. Don't waste your... Get the food in the shower. Get the free shower and free parking. Holy moly. What happened to the driver in Colorado? Well, he posted $400,000 bond. So 40 grand to the bail bondsman or 400 to the state, and he's out. And that's all they're saying about him. They won't tell you where he is or anything. Yeah, he got out Saturday night. Trial will be no sooner than the end of the year, probably next year on a big trial like that. So as soon as something more comes out, but if he ever leaves the country or whatever, I'll be on top of that. But that's the last that they ever said anything more about him, really. So he posted bond and it's gone. In the wind, I guess, but... Is he in the country? Yes, as far as I know, he's in the country. I don't know. Either way, it's 3:30 and I have to go make my company some money. So, because that's what they have you do here. But I do appreciate everybody being here, believe me. And thanks for coming in. There will be a show next Monday. It's Memorial Day. I know people have to work, so I'm going to be working too here. Doing the show as usual, 1 p.m. next Monday for Memorial Day. So please be here on Memorial Day, and otherwise I have to go to make my company some money. So back on the road for me, and thanks Wild Bill, Kim for being here, Cash is King Trucking, Time Zone is here, thank you, Steel Horse, I thank everybody for coming here, Golf Wayne, and Jeremy, and he posted bond, he did, Al, thanks for being here, but it's off to the races for me, and I will see you next Monday, and of course more videos this week. Thanks for watching. We'll be back soon.